Hi, welcome back. We have
No
lost
pon
Pon,
still.
but
Yeah.
might join us later on.
Jithin's broke pawn, it seems. So,
I saw that chant.
that
I liked that
happens.
chant. I chanted that chant.
Hey, let's go.
Um, but we will try to get Pom Pom back. But we'll go ahead and get started with the balance that'll be going
Cool.
live next week on Tuesday with the bonus update. So to kick things off, let's talk a little bit about Soul Gem.
Yeah, I'm just
Soul
gonna
Gem
make
is
sure
going to be
I'm all hydrated. Sorry, go on.
Soul Gem is going to be getting a nerf, and we're going to be decreasing the bonus damage of your from 35 to 25% of your magical power.
Yeah,
Would you
so
like to give us some insight as to why?
absolutely. Soul Gem we've seen gain in popularity a little bit. We saw the playoffs and a lot of these changes, we wanted to make sure it reflected off of the itemization and the popularity of both the items and gods. Soul Gem was definitely one that we've seen being picked up a lot more often. So we're just going to be decreasing the value of that damage you get when it actually does pay off. We didn't want to change the cost. We thought its effectiveness was still pretty good, but just a little bit hit on the magical power scaling when you do get that.
So they're removing some magical power.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Clumsy. The next one we'll talk about is Chiron's coin is getting nerfed as well. Less magical power for that one as well by 10. What's up with that?
Yeah, absolutely. When we first introduced the 20% pen items between Obsidian Shard and Charon's coin, we saw a lot of people going, Charon's coin it's kind of niche, it seems a bit odd, and Obsidian Shard was just kind of the definitely go-to meta. And since then, we kind of buffed Charon's coin a little bit more, and we've seen it just be so prevalent in these item builds that people are now skipping Rod of Tahuti for that second or third item, which was already pretty crazy, and replacing that with Charon's coin. Dude. So we're just going to be decreasing and reverting some of the power, so it's not just a must-buy so early every game.
Okay. And thank you also for correcting. I'm sorry I said Charon.
I'm sure I'm wrong too, so it's okay.
Somewhere in the middle, maybe. We've also got nerfs coming for Stone of Gaia.
Yes, Stone of Gaia. It's another one of those items that, we've added that extra component towards in its passive, and
semi-nice
because of having
both
the health gained from the knockups as well as just the max health over time, we've just seen it being picked up a lot, especially in the solo lane where there's a lot of warriors right now with knockups that it's just the go-to. And even when you see an enemy when you're versing an enemy without a knockup, it's still such a strong item with its stats that we thought just knocking off of some of the health gain from that passive was just a good start.
Thank you for the 11.
Maybe we won't see it
with
as
the 6,
as
Bober
much.
with the 7, Hawk with the 30.
Perfect. Thank you. And that's actually all of the items that are going to be getting some adjustments with the update on
Vamp,
Tuesday.
Pockets, Kingdom,
so let's go ahead and
Perfection.
get
Thank you guys
into
for the
the
gift
gods
or
that are
the
going to be
resubs.
getting some changes.
Ooh,
First off, Morgan Le Fay. What's going on? Why is she getting nerfed? I thought she was fine.
She's OP.
Yeah, I mean, we released the stats on the day one saying she was exactly 50% balanced, and obviously that's going to change as time goes on. With just day one, that's a low sample size, and even with all of you gamers out there playing her on day one, it's going to change a little bit. And as we saw, her numbers started increasing, and she was doing a little bit better than we might expect for a new god release. So we're going to be toning down the cooldown on her Sigil Mastery. It's actually going to be a pretty big deal because her early leveled wave clear is not the strongest. Once you get to level 3 and you can use all abilities on the wave, that's going to help mitigate that fact. But the cooldown, especially with the cooldown heavy meta that's going on right now with mages, we think this will be a pretty heavy shift to reduce her damage overall throughout the game and also make it less frustrating to deal with.
Okay. And that should help with early game as well?
Yeah, it'll be mostly early game focused, but it'll persist throughout the entire game. CDR will help mitigate that, and also we're well aware of the different shifts that people have been suggesting, for example, with the other components of her Sigil Mastery, the slow as well as the decoy, or even possibly looking at the healing on the ulti. We're definitely going to be keeping an eye on those things, so have a look out for future balance changes in the future.
Cool, thank you. Persephone's next on the list as well. She's getting nerfed. Poor Persephone, what's going on?
Well, we just did the heavy Persephone reworks, and alongside that, yeah, exactly. We haven't seen her in the pro play yet because she's been banned from ranked, but we've seen her numbers skyrocket. People are finding some pretty good success with Persephone, and with that, we're going to be toning down on some of her numbers, targeting Harvest as well as Flourish, so that way when you do that kind of like combo of all of her abilities at once and someone's jumping on you, it's not going to feel as lethal, and you can play around her a little bit better.
I'm surprised they're nerfing so many mages.
Cool.
And
then this is one of my favorite ones.
Oh yeah,
oh my gosh!
I think we saw a beautiful tweet from AJ, who's out on holiday right now, and he had to chime in to make sure that everyone was aware that this is coming up.
King Arthur nerf?
Yes, King Arthur's getting a nerf.
Yes.
Why King Arthur? With almost every ability getting nerfed. What's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. King Arthur has had a pretty, large spotlight on him for a long time, alongside, spoiler alert, coming up with Cucullin. But, we've done a lot of nerfs to him in the past, and Bluestone meta has come up in the solo lane, and he's actually statistically, as I'm sure you guys love to hear, not actually performing that well. But we hear you guys. We know that he is strong, and we know he can be frustrating. So we're gonna hit him across the board on several different components. We're hitting several different abilities with some base damage nerfs, targeted more towards the mid to late game, as you can see. His early game is not going to be hit for a lot of these, as well as also hitting his ultimate in a few different places.
Yeah, that's
and
true,
mostly
dude.
that is if you actually beats his ultimate when you're getting striked up into the air with Excalibur's Wrath, you actually still take damage from it. And that felt a little bit punishing, and we heard that feedback.
Yeah, that was
so we want to make
stupid.
sure that when you land from that ability, when you do successfully beats it, it doesn't feel as punishing. We're also going to be hitting the Sundering Strike jab damage as well.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. And you were going into it a little bit with Kakolin also getting a nerf.
Yeah, I
Why?
mean, Bluestone's definitely going to help out these solo laners, and Kakolin and King Arthur were definitely really fighting for the top of supremacy there in the solo lane. And Kakolin, I mean, we've seen some shifts on him in the past. He's very easy to bring back in the meta, which is a couple of damage changes, as well as
King Arthur, he's
some
fucking OP,
survivability.
bro.
So we're going to be touching both
All
of
their
those
base
things.
damage is too
We're going to
high.
be touching his survivability with the Berserk and his
Like, look at that. His Warcry's base damage is almost 450, or it's almost 500.
Both versions of his ultimate. Spirit
On a
of Mortal Pain
base
as well as
ability.
Warcry. Decreasing that base damage so it doesn't feel as punishing. And
stupid.
increasing the cooldown on his non-rage form. Because it always felt like, even with a pretty decent cooldown of 85 seconds, it's up so often between the two different forms. And he's also
Morgan,
got two
one ability
different
nerf,
ultimates. It just felt
Persephone,
a little
slight
bit
nerf,
overwhelming.
Soul Gem,
Well, I'm
mini
excited to
nerf,
see that
King Arthur, Kakolin.
in the
Decent
battleground. I was
nerfs.
going to say in the real world, but I guess
I
the
think
battleground
the
is
soul
not
laners will
technically
take this
the
to
real
heart, and they
world.
won't, like, King Arthur will stop being
Then
played
we've got
altogether.
Sun Wukong next getting a nerf as well
Oh, what
to
the fuck?
Master's Will.
Yeah, Sun Wukong is another god
Keep
that we
it
buffed
going,
consistently
more
to try to make sure
solo
that he fought
laners!
alongside those other solo laners, and we
More.
believe he has successfully reached there. We're seeing a lot
So
more
tragic.
often and with a lot more success.
Brammy, thank you for the
with the
6
King
months.
Arthur and Kakolin heavy nerfs,
Yo, who
we
else?
actually expect Sun Wukong to be
Who else
almost
is
the one who
annoying in the
takes
soul
over
lane?
the solo lane,
Fear?
especially with the Bluestone
Fear
meta
nerf?
again. So we don't want to hit him with as heavy a nerfs as we did the other solo lane
Fear nerf?
warrior gods, but we're just touching him a little bit more for the mid to late game again.
You're
can
just gonna
the
see
early ranks of
Guardians
this ability
played
aren't
more.
changing, but
That they
it's
just never
hitting towards
die.
the pro level, the
But
pro rank.
I'm fine with that. Fuck it.
Cool.
At least
And
you
then
get a shift.
also the Dropkick King Gilgamesh is getting a nerf as well.
Dang, okay.
Oh, to Dropkick.
Yeah, to his primary. Okay, cool. Yeah, Gilgamesh, I mean, he released with some pretty decent stats as well. He was very strong, and we hit him in a couple places previously. But his dropkick, we actually actually fixing an issue where the ability did a little bit more base damage, a little bit more scaling.
the ability
gods
was
were kicked
bugged,
into a wall.
and
so this
now
is gonna
it's
be
a longer
nerf,
cooldown.
specifically to all the ranks but the first one. And we're also increasing the cooldown because we know that while he is the dropkick king, he might be doing it a little bit too often and frustrating players and stunning him against the wall, and just with his team following up, it's pretty potent.
Yep.
That's what you remember. We're also going to be decreasing his ultimate's initial damage, mostly again scaling towards that late game because the early game damage is not that high, but late game when you can just drop it down on objectives where there's a huge team fight coming in, it's a big burst damage alongside everything else that it provides.
Cool. Moving right along, we've got Seoul up next. She'll be getting a nerf to Stellar Burst.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
and there's some setup time.
What the
exactly.
fuck?
So with a lot of these changes, please definitely have a look
What
at the patch notes and check out
the
the dev
fuck?
insight, because
I
there's
feel
a
like
lot
they've
more that will
never
be going
they
on
never
there.
do this kind of shit.
You know, usually I'll have my other designer with me that can go back and forth because we've worked on different things throughout the patch, and I know Pawn was working on pretty heavily on this one, but I have some insight, and that is there was a bug previously happening for Seoul where she had all the delay on her Stellar Burst actually removed, and it went to 0. So that way, when you fired her Stellar Burst, that would actually be coupled with a basic attack projectile almost instantly. And that is a little bit too strong. And I know this is going to be a pretty controversial change because people enjoyed that change. People enjoyed that bug, and it's something that they thought was smooth.
Good bug.
But we're fixing the bug, but we're decreasing the amount that it and how severe it was. So previously, you can say, I think the numbers were somewhere around like a 0.6 second delay because of the post fire before. We're actually going to be reducing that amount. So there is going to be a little bit of animation time. And those things are really important to making a character still feel good. So you're actually, while we're saying we're adding a little bit of setup time, and post-fire time, it's nowhere near as much as what you might have played before this bug occurred, whereas bring it to 0. So we definitely encourage you guys to check it out. It will feel a lot smoother than it was pre-bug state.
Sweet. And like you said, you can check out the devs insight notes in the notes. They are live right now if you'd like to tune in and read along with us. Next up, we've got another mage, Giannis, getting nerfed. I love it when he gets nerfed. I feel like he's always so strong.
Everyone's happy when Giannis gets nerfed, except for me. But it's okay. I mean, I'm a big fan of Giannis, but we talked about it with King Arthur. You know, there are some of these gods that are statistically just on the bottom, and Giannis is one of them. He's historically been just one of the worst performing gods, but that doesn't matter because when you see him being played and when he's as popular as he is, it's those moments are still gonna shine. And if you've been watching the SPL, you've been seeing a couple of choice players doing absolutely.
He's getting nerfed because of the top SPL players.
A lot. We were debating, you know, whether it's his utility or his
your
damage,
average player can't play Giannis for
damage,
shit.
especially with the staff and Meredith builds, right? It's pushing through, and there's gonna be a lot of itemization changes coming up. But his ulti was one of them. Giannis would use through space and time to initiate a fight and chunk one player or multiple down already to half health, and that would decide the fight from over a wall or over two walls, something that other mages can't.
So don't get hit by it.
Decreasing the base damage, mostly again focusing to the mid to late game because we don't think it's that much of a problem early game.
This is surprising. I didn't think they would nerf Giannis
by 10%. Now remember, it may look like 65% magical power scaling isn't that much, but he also does get more through the rest of his kit as well as his passive.
Okay. And then last up on our list for nerfs during the bonus balance, that again will be live on Tuesday, is right around the corner, is Raijin. Raijin's going to be getting a nerf as well.
Raijin's another one of those mages that we've seen, you know, shoot up in popularity just by some small buffs that we've been giving him. He's one that really
shot up
rides
because
that
of SPL.
line, but he, you know, he can attack from range. His percussive storm is very strong, and we've noticed that, you know, the cooldown on that ability being 9 seconds,
on that ability
that's not something that you usually
OP.
see. Even Morgan Le Fay's AO1 was already at 10 seconds, right? So we're doing a small hit there, and also reducing the mark duration on Raiju because it actually provides a small slow on enemies for all the way up to 6 seconds if you don't actually proc it. So this is almost more of a quality of life balance fix where, you know, it's going to just stay at 4 seconds. That slow won't be there the entire time. If you've gotten Raiju on you and you're just walking away from him, it's not going to feel as
the pen on Serrated is better, Mr. Green.
Okay, cool. So that will
way
cover
more valuable
all of the
than
bouts that's going to go
Aussie
live with Tuesday's bonus update. If you want to follow along, again, the notes are all live. But now we can talk about the content that's going to be going out with this update as well.
But this is just a bonus
as a reminder,
batch?
the Talons of Tyranny event, this will be the last bit of content that's available through that. And the Talons of Tyranny event will stay up for one more update through the mid-season update, which again is a 6 weeks update. And then the Talons of Tyranny event will be going away with the 8.8 update in August. So if you've been trying to get some Talons of Tyranny content, haven't done it yet, the time on that is decreasing. So let's talk about the content that's going out with the mid-release, and Talons of Tyranny will have some new skins. The first one is going to be Star Sentry E-Set. So let's take a look at this one. And I think that she looks
cool card
fantastic. I'm all about a blue hair. Card
art, cool. What about the actual in-game skin?
Yeah, I think the hair looks fantastic, and those, like, her staff is looking really cool, and I love just like her outfit as a whole. I think she's gonna be a great addition to our roster.
And the attention to detail, she's got nice nail polish on too. It's a whole thing.
True. Yeah, that's a good point.
And the in-game model we can check out as well. We'll have some turnarounds for that so you guys can see what she looks like from all angles. And she looks amazing.
Yeah, her staff is super cool. I'm always like looking at those weapons what these mages are using. And her like
I like the color
attached to her
combos.
arm as well.
Cool.
The separation and the segmentation there with the color scheme, very cool.
I like all the floating pieces, like her headpiece that floats, and then the pieces from her wings as well. Let's give the voice pack a listen.
Just another day of monster slaying.
Yes, slay the monsters on the battleground. Fantastic. So that'll be part of the Talons of Tyranny event. The next skin in the Talons of Tyranny event will be Spirit of the Bear Terra.
Oh, shit.
And I am obsessed with this. When you guys see it in game, we'll hop to that in just a second. You'll be able to see how the effects are really bringing
Doesn't she already have a bear skin, too?
I'm all about these, like, what is it called? Aurora Borealis?
Yeah.
Lights are called?
It's the Northern Lights.
The Northern Lights, baby.
Yeah. I feel like she's really channeling that energy and like bringing it down to herself. Let's check it out in game.
Whoa, that's pretty
Look
cool.
at that. Yes, I love how those effects really like bring the
it's kind of basic, bitch, but colors are cool.
Really well situated on her model.
The
cool.
fucking
it's
bear
like
shit is dope though. That's see through.
Yes.
Kind of correct.
And let's give the voice pack a listen.
No matter the chaos that surrounds us, the earth will keep us grounded. Listen, and it will guide you.
Oh my gosh, so in touch with nature. I love it. Our audio team let us know that when she's got her
Ayo, that's a
they've got some
dude.
drums that they've added to it. So make sure that when you test it out in PTS this weekend that you listen out for that as well. And that's going to cover all of the Talons of Tyranny content, but we also have some more content that'll be coming to you through the Oni Hunter chest. So we'll be getting a new Rama skin with the Oni Hunter chest. Let's check it out.
Oh my god.
And when this chest becomes available... Yes!
I love that. That looks cool.
I love it. And I believe that his bow and arrow doesn't actually have a string. Am I right? Do you see that?
Yeah, I also see the other character in the background that's like either hunting him or helping him. It's super cool.
Oh my god, I think that they're enemies. Because I have to believe that this Rom is a good guy. And that guy back there looks like a bad guy.
Yeah, possibly.
I know that he's got red eyes, but I want him on my team.
So does that character in behind her as well.
Let's check it out in game. Oh, it does have a string. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, but he's looking so cool.
Yeah,
The bow, the horns,
honestly,
his facial structures.
not bad.
I love this.
Oh my gosh, and I hear your kitty. But I love the
Sorry,
contrast
guys.
between the horns and the hair. They're so like you go from like an ashy.
Yo, them
cool
sandals
tones to those
though.
really fiery and bright.
My man is pulling off the look. Bro, why does he look sick except for his fucking feet?
Be not afraid of the
Why does he
Oni.
only got 2 toes?
The Oni need fear me.
He's only got
Yes,
2
they do
fucking
need to
toes,
fear you,
dude.
Rama.
Let's
You are
go.
correct. So again, that'll be the Oni Hunter chest.
I guess it
and
makes
that
sense.
chest,
If
when it
Hyperspace
becomes
does
available,
actually
you can
remove
either
boots
go the
this
chest
patch,
route, and you could also go the direct purchase route if that's more your thing.
then that skin.
We've also got the Steel Falcon
matches up.
chest, which we'll be getting with the
They're
bonus
removing
update on
boots, adding
Tuesday, and
sandals.
It has Steel Falcon Horus.
2-toe sandals.
Look at
What
this.
the
I
fuck?
love the color scheme.
Okay.
Almost
This
like
is super
camo
cool.
color scheme.
And a badass.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got kind of like that mecha wing skin. I'm not sure, but I think this one's looking sweet. I'd use this.
Yeah, for sure. Let's check it out in game. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Thank you, Zyref. Thank you, Chief
I
Double
love the
D's.
orange
Bubble Boy,
accents
thank you for
that
the
really...
resub.
Oh, and he's even got like
Appreciate you guys.
almost like model numbers on his wings if you look
Yeah.
at it from the front.
I like the facial helmet and the wings for sure. I think the wings are really
Yeah,
like
he's
the
super
key
fucking
point that I
skinny,
keep
which makes it
staring
look
at.
weird.
And there's a lot of glowing elements, like his wings have some orange lights on it, the sides of his armor, on his hips. I really love that. Let's give the voice pack a listen.
Another day, another battle.
Another day, another
The
battle.
voice packs, when they
He's
have
ready
them
for
like
it.
behind a mask, all sound recycled in this game.
Awesome.
Looks fantastic. So again, all of that content will be available for y'all to pick up on Tuesday. And that's going to cover everything that's part of the bonus balance or the bonus update.
All right, here we go. This
Again,
is
if you
the
missed anything, if
part
you're
that
just now
matters.
tuning in, the notes are live.
Granted, they just nerfed 3 Soul in here, so I'm a little happy.
So
Absolutely.
moving right along,
But this is
we
what
have
matters.
some quality of life updates that are going to take place as well. We will talk about those right when we come back from a tiny little break. Talk to y'all in a sec.
Pom Pom bag? Why the fuck are we taking a break?
Rated T for teen.
Not having any music playing, that's for fucking sure. Quick little ad break, guys. I'm gonna start doing this in my stream, not Twitch's ad break.
We hope you
Alright.
guys have been enjoying the Monster Cat Battle Pass and grinding your way through those levels, finding maybe some new music that you love, but make sure that you're checking all of that out when you're in game. Moving right along to our quality of life, we have some ranked changes that are going to be taking place as well, along with there'll be, I believe, a ranked reset and then some band count changes for duel. Do you want to go over those with me, please?
A ranked reset?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like an
So I
actual
believe we
reset?
started doing
They're
ranked
fixing
resets for
anything?
the top ranked players only. So players above Diamond 1 will be reset back to Diamond 1, and anyone above 2400 MMR will be reset back to 2400 MMR. You know, getting everyone kind of this incentive to keep pushing and grinding forwards in the ranked. And for anyone who's below that, you know, this is your chance to be a grandmaster.
Perfect.
But they're not changing anything in
And
ranked.
I'm sorry, did you talk about the duel?
I did
yet?
not, but
Okay.
going from 5 bans to 6 bans, we finally given in, and there you go. I'm sure you dual players will be able to get one more frustrating god off of the list that your enemies.
I just don't understand why they don't actually tweak fucking ranked. It's butt cheeks.
Your duels.
I would love to want to play
ranked.
ranked.
Get an extra. The enemy team gets an extra.
That's
so
true.
Keep that
so watch
in
your
mind.
god pool. Got to be diverse.
Yes. Well, sweet. Let's go ahead and jump into all of the balance that's going to be taking place with the mid-season update. Are you laughing at your kitty?
I don't know how much you can hear, but she is the most vocal she's been in a while, and that's
I
when
love
she gets
it.
jealous and she knows everyone's paying attention to me right now.
And you're not giving her any love. I get it.
I gave her a nose boop during the little video, but that was not enough.
Not
for her.
enough. Awesome. Well, she can join us while we talk about the mid-season balance. We're going to talk about items first, and the first thing that I want to talk about is pretty spicy. These boots are made for walking, and they're walking off the battleground. Tell us about boots and shoes.
Yes!
Oh yeah,
Get hydrated.
This is something. Yeah, I'm making sure. I've got 2 water.
Hi, Rose, you listen.
All right, yeah, Smite without boots. It's finally happening. I don't know how. I haven't been as much in tune with how you guys were getting some spoilers.
I've been saying this shit forever.
We're gonna be
Let's
removing
go.
boots from the game. Boots and shoes, not just for one of the roles. Or
No
classes.
more tank boots.
But
Fuck
now
you
instead of
guys.
having boots or shoes, players are going to be gaining movement speed over the first 7 levels.
Bro,
going back to
power
that
level in your
amount
first 7
that
levels
boosts
is gonna be
were
important
provided
too.
you of 18%. So for those first 7 levels, you're going to be incrementally gaining movement speed. Boots and shoes
No
now
more boots.
gone from the item store. Elixir of Speed as well, also going to be removed from the item store. There's going to be a lot of knock-on effects. This is going to affect every game mode. And I mean, mid-season almost, we could have just put that out and like no other changes, and a lot of things would have changed. We are really curious to see what everyone's going to be doing with this.
Yeah, I wonder what they're doing. They'll probably tell
we
us.
think it's going to be really exciting, especially with the addition of
This would be
starter
crazy.
items. I guess we can talk about why we did it. And starter items, we knew that would be locking in a slot. We wanted people to, use them probably more often than not. And because of that, people felt like they had an item slot that was taken away from their builds.
Bro,
And
gods
we didn't
like
wanna
fucking
go too crazy.
Mercury
Speed
and
Elixir
shit that
helps
can use
mitigate
Golden
that a
Blade
little bit.
are gonna be fucking OP and fast as
But
shit.
boots was just one mechanism
before
that
other
we
people.
thought was maybe also a little bit outdated. Now, there's some risks for that. Of course, newer players coming in saying, hey, where's the boots and shoes? I'm used to other MOBAs having this. But I think right from here we can go to, obviously with the recommended items, or just what would you get from your tier, your second item that you
Stone
purchased
cutting
after boots.
rushing out of the
But there's
jungle
also
is gonna be
so
clutch
many more
too.
interesting strategies, and that's what we're really looking forward to, is the strategy in depth that can involve
Getting
that will be
Transcendence
involved
online
in
gonna be
change like
easier.
this. We've already talked about, initially we were just like, hey, maybe stacking items would be something that we would expect people to buy immediately, but then we almost thought, hey, maybe not, because they still have a slow ramp up, and maybe more power-based items like Bancrofts or Soul Gems, or even in the defensive roles, we were worried that Reinforced Greaves, which was so strong for supports, might be something that would
Meta is gonna
decrease the
shift
value of
around
supports.
a
But
fucking lot off this,
when
bro.
in a world where support is free to buy Breastplate or Gauntlet or Lotus Crown immediately, there's so many more options that come to the table.
Arachne
And
better,
honestly,
you don't need boots anymore.
while we were worried about this,
Oh,
we started
baby,
testing,
let's
and
go.
almost immediately our worries were resolved. Right? It was just a much more interesting way of approaching the game when you don't have to worry about locking in that first item.
Yeah, I'm excited to see just how I feel like it'll open up a lot of diversity to builds, and people can really just hit the ground running. And I'm really excited for those early game plays. They're just going to be so different.
There will be some knock-on effects, like I said. Balance will be different, and we expect the ramifications to be in future patch notes for sure. And you're going to see a couple of that stuff coming up first. But the gist of it is we expect the early game lethality to be a little bit stronger, and a couple of these changes coming up will be with that in mind.
Okay. And we'll talk about Ratatoskr later, right?
Yes,
Yeah, we'll talk about
don't
it
worry. We have thought about him.
Elixir of
Sweet.
Speed
And I
didn't
know,
last very long in this
like you
game.
said, Elixir of Speed no longer necessary, because if we don't have boots, then you don't need to sell the boots and then buy the speed potion. It's just, you don't need it anymore.
Bro, all I want to do is
So-
play
Elixir Speed
this
from the
patch now. Fuck current Smite.
There are tons of other things coming up next. So we've also got Enchanted Spear is going to be getting a shift.
Bro, all of the builds on Smite and
Yeah,
Sword
so
have to
one
be
of the first types of
updated.
items that we thought was going to be problematic were those early
God.
pen items. Specifically Enchanted Spear, and again, spoiler alert coming up next, Heavy Mace for the magical and for the physical base users. So we're going to see some shifts to both of these, because we didn't want to just take
Every
away their pen and
fucking
give them
build,
nothing
dude.
back. Enchanted Spear, we're going to be reducing that penetration from 10 to 5, but increasing the magical power.
And I don't
to
even know what the builds are. All the builds are going to be
But we know
new
penetration early in the game, flat penetration
for the
is
most part. Like
extremely
same items,
potent,
probably just weird orders.
especially when players are starting the game with the base level amount. They don't have items yet. The per level hasn't increased yet. So Enchanted Spear going to get a little bit of a shift, and going right into Heavy Mace honestly is going to be getting a similar kind of shift, where it's going to be losing the 5 penetration from 10 to 5, but we went a different approach with this one. We thought it be a little bit interesting, where we decrease the cost from 1500 to 1400. So maybe you start with Heavy Mace with a couple of pots, and that could be something interesting for assassins or maybe even hunters.
They changed
we'll
the cost.
So that covered Heavy Mace as well. We can talk about Ikavol.
What?
Is that how you pronounce it? Do you pronounce it Ikavol?
What?
I say Ikavol. I'm sure Ikavol. I don't think it's Itchable, but
Itchable.
Wait.
So what's going on?
All
that was
those
getting
items-
a shift as well.
yeah, exactly. So a couple of these items,
what?
Mystical
What
Mail,
up,
and
Patty
Wingblade,
P?
they fell into
Thank you for
similar
the 5 gifted, Chewy. Thank you for the sub.
Don't worry, guys. She's not hungry. She just loves attention. She's very jealous that I'm speaking to someone that's not her. This happens every day.
Who
in
would
my
run
meetings.
that though at the start of the
It's
game
always
with
the
no
same thing.
like?
I love her. So sweet.
So hopefully you guys
Like,
are okay. I'll send a pic on Twitter after this.
Yes, do.
But we noticed that a couple of these items we expected to be
That's
almost
an early
must-buy.
Jotuns, let me
So
tell
we're
ya.
gonna be hitting Ikavol, Mystical Mail,
Crusher,
and Wingblade.
early
A
as
little bit of a
fuck
shift on
with-
Ikavol,
with
making it so that
the
the attack
changes.
speed reduction is a little bit less severe, especially in the early game where we expect
Thanatos
that to
could
be
start it,
pretty
yeah.
heavy, especially in a world without ninja
Your clear
tab
would be
item. That's
bad,
gonna
though.
be crazy, right? But increasing the power to
Your
make up for
early
it.
clear would probably not be that good.
Mystical Mail, so I'll just go hit these 3 back to back.
Yeah.
We're actually going to be shifting its passive damage, so it's going from 40 to 30. Obviously less early, but it's going to be gaining a per level component, so it's actually going to be increasing per level, kind of scaling better towards the late game. And Wingblade, we're starting to see it a little bit more in the meta now. We expect without boost, where you have the option for movement speed blade items, we might see it a bit more. We want to give it kind of a slap on the wrist, because
Supports are about to be running around with Wingblade and
We don't want to
Witchblade.
just gun it preemptively.
First item every game.
CCR being reduced. from
Witchblade's gonna
20%
be
to 10%.
fucking OP early game on
Alright.
supports.
And now we've got even more spicy changes coming. So a lot of our starters are getting a lot of changes. So we'll start with Staff of Mirrodin getting
this is
a
going
rework.
alongside. Yeah, so I guess an item rework before we go into some starter items.
What?
This is going to be a very, very
What?
interesting one. This is going to be. I mean, I'm already going to assume there's going to be some people that might be upset. Cat, come on. You want to come here? Come
You
on,
should
Cat.
hold her.
I
yeah.
can't because she doesn't really like being picked up unless it's of her own record. Chat, I know you guys. You guys are all talking about Cat instead of patch notes now. This is where I would mute myself and let Pawn talk instead. But
Aw.
you just
He's trying to get.
Oh, you guys
pretty.
got a glimpse. You guys got a glimpse. That's all you get. All right.
She kind of reminds me of a Reese cup.
Her name is Illyria, and she's amazing. But yeah, you're gonna be. Is that good? Okay. I'm sorry, guys.
She got some
Sacrificial. There's a lot of
attention.
exciting stuff happening. Pawn got turned into a cat.
Not quite.
Not quite. Staff
That
of
is not
Meridian's
Papa.
getting a rework. So, like I said, people are gonna be probably a little bit apprehensive about this because they're not going to be getting 2 abilities back to back after using their ultimate, but it's got a lot more use cases now, and it applies to a lot more characters that might have wanted to pick it up previously. And I think that was really the point of this rework is because the previous version had some unintuitive interactions and it kind of got relegated to just a few mages, when really we wanted to be something that could be offered to anyone who wanted to pick it up and find some sort of equal value to it. So now Staff of Meriden will now be gaining a buff called Meriden's Brilliance, which is after you use your ultimate ability, you will now gain 80% uncapped CDR, decaying to 40% rapidly over the course of 7 seconds. Oh my god, and the perfect person to talk about this slid right in here. Please feel free to talk about Staff of Meriden. James,
Yeah.
you worked heavily on
Welcome
this
back.
Sorry so much.
I'm
my
so
power
excited
went
that
out
you're here. Oh, but you're
at
muted.
3.
Oh,
my power went out
Bro.
at 3.
There we go.
So,
Staff
yeah.
of Mirrodin
that was
on
very exciting.
Merlin
That was a lot of extra
and
stress
everyone
was
else
unneeded,
that can
but I'm
instant
back.
and hell
So yeah, we can talk
is
about
gonna be
Staff of
fucking
Mirrodin.
OP.
So basically, we're changing the passive on this because a lot of the interactions
Like,
with like
why
double
wouldn't you
casting and
just
having reduced
Merlin
damage
swap and
were a bit
use your fucking abilities
unintuitive,
4
but when we
times?
wanted to rework it, we wanted to make sure that it felt very intuitive to use, is also capture the spell slinging, cheating cooldown type of feel of Staff of Mirrodin. So you can see here now you have uncapped CDR 80%, which means when you actually cast your ultimate ability, let's say you have a raw and you use your 1, which is like a 10-second cooldown, that goes to 2. and this 80% decays very rapidly, so you got to start flinging your spells. But if you do that, you get a massive cooldown reduction. So
You
in the same
literally
spirit
get
as old Staff of
two
Mirrodin,
abilities
but in a
off.
bit more intuitive way and a bit more usable.
Two full damage abilities off now instead of the half damage ability
I'm so excited to see you, Paul.
that you got before.
I didn't know if you would be able to come back.
I didn't know.
Super happy you're back. There's still a lot of this left, and you know
Yes.
what? I'm gonna let you do all the start items. Just go for it.
Bro,
Look, I'll take-
Tiamat's
you did 30 minutes,
gonna
I'll
ult
take
you
30.
with a fucking slow minion, one you, and then one
Servers.
you again, and you're just dead.
Play with my cat.
It's just gonna be fucking 3,000 damage.
So for starter, the first one we have is
But I
War
lost
Flag
him.
is going to be getting
Patty
a rework.
P, thank you for the 5 gifted subs.
So
You're a
War
fucking
Flag,
beast.
very good in non-conquest modes, but without any economy. No way of generating extra gold. It was really difficult for supports to really justify picking it up. So now in this rework, we're actually going to make it so that it's still focused on being the very aggressive choice. It's still focused on something that you want to use to like try and bully your lane opponents. But now when you get 3 or 4 or more stacks, so after your hunter has cleared most of the wave, you get to be aggressive. You get to go in and for everything you hit. So, for example, let's say you walk into Sylvanas, you root both your enemies, you wisp both your enemies, and you hit them both with a basic attack. That's 6 individual hit procs. That'll actually give you 6 times 8 gold and 6 times 15 health and mana to you and your allies. So huge reward for being aggressive, but you have to wait till your mini wave is kind of
That's
dead.
different.
And you actually have to get in there to actually get any benefit of it. So
Weird.
really
but
interesting
different.
rework here. Really focus on making its identity of being this aggressive support work, as well as having that economy to make it useful in conquest.
Perfect. Does that also cover the upgrade as well?
Yeah, the upgrade, the only difference there is rather than gold, you actually refresh the duration of all stacks currently active when you hit. So that way you can actually kill a mini wave and kind of take that, as long as you can keep hitting your opponent, you can take that for as long as you can.
I'm
into the
still
fight,
thinking
which
about boots change shit,
greatly
bro.
increases
Fuck this
overall
stuff. I'm sure this will matter at some point, but boots.
Perfect.
No
Thank you
boots.
so much, Pod.
No more
And
boots.
also, just as a reminder, if y'all are just now tuning in, the notes are live, so you can follow.
I don't think
along
that's
with us.
by
I'm so
benevolence,
sad I
but
missed
we'll see.
boots.
Yeah, I mean,
Aw,
actually,
do
I was
you
gonna
have
say,
anything to say about it?
Yeah, I would actually say if there's any insight you had on any of the previous changes,
Why is
mostly
clumsy
consistency
echoing?
boots. I think the
Yeah,
better.
I think the big thing is with boots, one, just the whole world is going to be very different. Smite's been designed for how many years with
Thank you,
boots?
Naz, a 5 and the 19.
It not being here
Welcome
is going
back.
to change quite a lot, more than we can predict. We had a lot of internal theories. As we got to playtest, a lot of our internal theories kind of fell apart, and we got new theories. I'm sure once players get in their hands, they're going to have different theories than we did. But I mean,
Yeah, I don't think
it's
he's
been really
echoing
fun. I'm
because of
super excited to
himself.
see
I
what
think
we'll
somebody
do.
fucked
The
up.
increased build flexibility. We've seen things like, again, going to Sylvanas, because that's the game I played. I did War Flag Lotus Crown Rush, and no one could bully me in lane. I was like completely dominant, and then I could take that to mid lane and start bullying for mid heartbeat control and red buff control. It was really interesting, something that you would never be able to do because you'd have to rush boots, and now that kind of just opens up.
Yeah, that
a whole
movement
new
speed will
world
actually
of
be
item
sick
building, which is really neat. So I'm
in
excited for
lane.
people to play with it.
But at the same
And
time,
we'll
if you're
make
not
balance
fighting, it's
changes
kind of
as needed,
worthless.
obviously, because it's going to shake up quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, something to watch for sure. So back
Mm-hmm.
to starters.
Yes.
We also have Corrupted Bluestone getting reworked as well. What's going on with Corrupted Bluestone?
It's the wonky upgrade to Bluestone Pendant, but it was a bit too wonky. It was really hard for an ability character to transition fully to attack speed. Now we're going to change it to something a bit more universally applicable. It still focuses on you wanting to use your basic attacks more than you otherwise would with Bluestone, but now has a little bit of extra health, and it actually gives you some more prots instead of just attack speed. So you're you get that extra bit of stats that you need to kind of be in the thick of it as an ability where you might not have.
What?
Perfect. I almost started saying that TikTok.
How many
song that
stacks
said that,
can
but
you
I'm
get?
gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep us focused.
Isn't
we've
it like
also
a
got
bunch of
changes
stacks?
For Death's Toll coming up.
Isn't it like 5 or 6
Death's Toll,
stacks?
This is a
24%
change
more
specifically for
defense.
basic attack warriors, and this kind of starts
Okay.
a list of basic attack warrior changes. We've just seen them not really do well in the meta with Bluestone Pendant. And so Death's Toll, this change is actually that melee
We're
cleave will actually
buffing the
heal
sustain on
75%
Death's Toll
rather
again.
than
Great.
50%.
Woo.
So Heimdall's basic attack, that range cleave, will
Can't
still be
wait for
50%,
that
but
one.
Osiris cleave,
Buffing
Ulron
all the
cleave, Nike
ADCs
cleave,
that are
those
building that right now.
75%. So it should give you a little extra health to play with in lane.
Cool.
Hmm?
And then Death's Embrace.
Yep, Death's Embrace, same exact thing. It's the same directed line upgrade, so same
Bro, what the
logic applies
fuck?
there as well.
Cool. And Berserker's Shield is getting buffed.
Why?
Berserker Shield. So this is a kind of interesting change. It's now an
Oh.
assassin and
Oh,
warrior
no, never
only
mind.
item, which is the first time we've done something like this in a very
they
long
made-
time. Especially because it's not
Made it
part
so
of, like, a
ADCs
katana
can't build it
tree.
anymore.
It's
Fuck
not
you,
part of,
ADC
like, an Arthurian
bitches.
or mastery where we're actually limiting items being built. For a
But
certain
here comes an
class.
auto attack
It
solely
feels kind
meta.
of like cheating, but we think this is like the example case where it makes the most sense. This item was really intended to be for
ADC
those assassins or
bitches.
warriors who really want to get in the thick of it, and hunters really just took over the item and forced it to be nerfed pretty significantly. And this is a case where a lot of times we can kind of balance around that, but
Alright,
there's
look
no
at my
real
window real
great
quick.
way to balance this item with that in mind to keep hunters from using it too effectively while keeping it balanced for warriors and assassins. So we are restricting it. We're bringing up its stats now that only assassins and warriors can build it. We're going to keep a close eye on this. This is something we don't plan on doing in the future for different items. Often you can do balance solutions. This was just kind of a very unique case where that didn't feel like an option.
Okay.
Yeah, really
So-
excited for this one.
Only assassins and warriors.
Correct.
And that's it. Sounds good.
I think Bologna is now
then,
broken, but I think we're gonna see auto attack
Shogun's
meta, at least a little bit of one.
Yep, Shogun's
Sorry.
Kusari.
I'm
Really
doing great with
cool.
these pronunciations.
Yeah, really cool utility item for
What
supports.
the
But with no health, it falls into a really weird spot where it's hard to build.
Okay,
Also,
auto attack
warriors,
meta.
so like the Amaterasu.
Ama's getting played, Bologna's getting played, Osiris is getting played, Gilgamesh is getting played.
Weren't really able to leverage the stats that well, so now it's getting some extra health at the cost of crowd control reduction, so
Holy
they're a bit more frontline
fuck,
tanky,
that's a lot of
and they're getting
attack
some
speed
extra
from
attack
2
speed, where
items.
I think that's a typo. It's 25.
Bro, that's 70% attack speed if you go Shoguns and Berserkers. And it's also fucking defense. It's like what, 30, was it 35 physical and 70 magical?
Perfect. And then Serrated Edge is going to also get a change.
Probably more
Increase some
for
physical
basic
power.
attack
Let's
assassins
go!
than hunters, or not hunters, warriors. Just to increase the power here. This item was really good for a long time. We did some nerfs
Let's
to it. It fell off, and
go!
so now we're
Serrated
partially
getting a
bringing
buff.
some of
That's
the nerfs. We're giving it
crazy.
some more physical power, just so that its stats are a bit more efficient.
Alrighty. And then next up, we've got changes coming for Mannequin Scepter.
Yeah. So junglers are currently really in the eye of the jungle path right now. Mannequin Scepter was not really an item they could justify going because it was too slow. And also Bumba's Dagger is a bit safe. You're not really able to leverage stats, but that safety comes at a reduced gold cost. So we'll see how that changes with boots. But Mannequins, we felt in a bootsless world, because that really affects jungle starts, still needed a buff. So we're changing it to be, first and foremost, more DPS increase. So it'll now stack to its damage quicker over.
This
3
is
stacks as before.
huge.
It will now scale based off your physical and magical power, so it gets stronger.
That
as the
item
game
is going to
progresses
be
with the monsters
fucking
you
nuts,
touch.
right? Like,
And also it'll heal
it
a
went from
percentage
flat
of your health and
15
mana, rather
to
than a flat amount, so that
3%.
also scales as the game goes on. So really, a lot of this problem was your first clear with mannequins is actually
Bro,
pretty
Arachne's
good.
busted.
Your second,
Arachne's
third,
fucking busted.
fourth,
I'm never
fifth,
losing
you'd
a game
much
again.
rather have
Dropped
Eye
off.
or Bumbas. So now
I'm
that
playing
will be
ranked just to
different
only play
here. Now
Arachne
it'll
every
actually
game.
Scale should be much more competitive.
When they
and
start
also
banning, I'm
helps
gonna
out
stop
with
playing
ganking,
ranked.
'cause it does stack that burn damage quicker in a gank scenario.
True. Nice.
Excited to see how that plays out.
Mhm.
And that'll go into Mannequin Mace as well.
Yep, it had a lower percentage amount than the base one did. To
Holy
make those make
shit.
sense.
Alright, give me 1
So
second.
we
I have
just
to go
made
do
sure that
something
they
real quick,
match, so
stream.
You're getting the same exact.
To cut my grass. Give me 1 second.
Cool.
Mhm.
And moving right along to Sentinel's Gift. That's getting buffed as well.
So Benevolence has really taken over as the go-to support starter. War Flag is going to hopefully shake that up a bit, but Sentinel's Gift also, we think it's really, really close, especially when you're kind of try to trade between different efficiencies. We think a small cost reduction here and some magical and physical protections will help it compete more directly. We think Benevolence in general is in a pretty good power level. It's more that we need to bring the other options up to meet it rather than bringing Benevolence down. And you'll see a similar note when we get to Bluestone Pendant. We're going to be talking about Warrior's Axe. No Bluestone Pendant nerf directly, but we are bringing up other starters to compete with it.
Yeah, and remember, all of these changes are coming in a world where there's no boots.
Yeah.
So,
So who knows what the
That's-
starts are? I mean, we've already seen the tier 2 Fighter's Mask start be
Yeah,
pretty
that's kind of
competitive.
exciting.
So we'll see how that all shakes up, especially when now you don't also have to consider buying boots. So lots of stuff that's going to change here. It's really hard to predict everything, but we're doing what we can.
It'll be fun. And like we said earlier, to be a 6-week update with 2 bonuses in there. So a lot of things going on to keep track of. And then we've also got a buff coming for Conduit Gem.
Conduit Gem, relatively strong starter, is getting a buff here, but this is mostly just to kind of round out build options for mages, making sure that there is a flat mana option that can build into like the Book of Thoth, the Book of the Dead, making sure that's a little bit more supported. We also think that there's going to be a bit more of a premium on cooldown reduction for staying at a time now that Boots of Focus or Shoes of Focus isn't quite there. So we also wanted to make sure that we didn't go too heavily adjusting the mage stars because we think they're particularly susceptible to a lot of the non-boots changes.
Alrighty. We've also got changes for Vampiric Shroud.
So Vampiric Shroud and also its direct upgrade Bloodsoak Shroud, mainly we're rather than trying to make them compete directly with Conduit Gem and Sands of Time, we're going to try and just make them good at what their identity really is for that Bruiser Mage. So we're increasing the stats that are going to help it be a Bruiser Mage. So on the base item, you get some more health and physical protections that you could potentially take into the Soul Lane, or if you're worried about a particularly aggressive jungler that might come gank you at level 2, you can build this to be a bit more safe. And then the upgrade Bloodsoak Shroud, that item is going to get similar stat adjustments to make that make sense, as well as the hit, rather than restoring a flat amount, will restore percent health. And we're removing the lifesteal passive building component of that, because if you're building Bruiser and you've kind of gone this Bruiser route, you don't really have the damage to make lifesteal super efficient. Stacking that, they felt like they were fighting two very different goals. We just kind of now unified the item under the theme of this is really for the Bruiser Mage, the Jormungandr who wants to go in Soul Lane, the Hades, the Zhong Kui, those types of characters.
Cool. And we've got Sacrificial Shroud up next as well. Wait, what was it? Clumsy, were you going to laugh about something?
I'm just laughing at Spongy Nectar. We're going to find out if that's resolved at some point.
Neat. Good. So, Bloodsoak Shroud. No, Sacrificial Shroud, that's what we're on. This item, even though it was probably limited mostly because it was really hard to build into Vampiric Shroud, even when you did get there, the reward didn't feel quite enough for the justification of losing health when you cast abilities. So 15 extra power should help that out too.
Neat. And you talked about this a little bit earlier. We've got Warrior's Axe getting a buff as well.
Yeah, so Warrior's Axe is getting a buff, and Bluestone Pendant is not getting a nerf. And it's probably worth just kind of explaining that, because I think a lot of people were expecting a nerf there. Bluestone Pendant, especially after the reset adjustments, we think is actually in a pretty good spot. There's ability hunters who are using it pretty effectively. There are warriors who are using it pretty effectively. We're seeing Warrior's Axe occasionally make it into builds, but not quite there. And we think that rather than nerfing Bluestone Pendant more, really the other starters should try and compete with that, especially aggressive starters. We got note from a lot of the top-end Soul Laners where they were saying like they actually really like the lethality that's in the Soul Lane. They can really actually like box and kill each other there. So rather than like nerfing what's kind of enabling that, we want to bring other starters up to help meet that. And so in this case, Warrior's Axe, it's going to deal a little bit more at level 1 in stealing health, so from 30 to 35, but it's actually going to scale with your level now. So level 1, it's actually 36. But then as you're trading when you're like level 5, level 10, you're still in that lane, it's going to be more and more efficient at trading the health, and that is true.
What, did they nerf Bluestone?
So it's not like that gets mitigated over time. That's going to be just increasingly efficient as this game goes on, and this should be a nice bump to bring it more in line with Bluestone Pendant's. It'll compete better against Bluestone Pendant at the start.
What I missed?
But it'll outscale it as that dot becomes less and less relevant until they actually upgrade it to their full upgraded starters. So
you said that your friends are idiots.
Soul Lane a lot, but also keep the lethality that's in the Soul Lane right now.
Cool. I feel like I don't play solo lane enough, but maybe this will inspire me.
It's scary over there. You're just alone 1v1ing someone. It's spooky.
It is, and the other person always knows what they're doing.
Plus the Vam Shroud and Sentinels, okay.
Other jungler always shows
That's
up
fine.
more often, you know?
Yeah.
Dude,
Guardian meta
can I get
and
some
auto
ganks?
attack warrior meta.
Oh, the
Big
worst.
jungle diff.
Well, moving right along, we've got Atalanta's bow is going to be getting a buff, and it will be increasing the physical power by 5.
Yep. This item.
Bro, they are 100% want you to run auto attack builds
just
again.
Making sure that it feels powerful
This shit is
enough to build
crazy.
into. That extra 5 power means a lot when it comes to hunters and just their overall.
Wait, why will
efficiency as they
junglers
get
be
so many
faster than
synergy stats
everyone?
together? So nice bump there. Should help it out.
Neat. And then next up, we've got Leather Cowl and Hunter's Cowl.
Yes.
And those are both getting a little bit of a change to the MP5.
Yep, Death Toll is your safe option. Gilded Arrow is your option.
MP5 for Leather
trying
Cowl.
to
There
be
you
a
go.
bit more efficient in your farm. Leather Cowl just kind of was supposed to be the one
Atalanta,
that's
I don't
all
know.
around
40 power is
and, like,
a
good
lot,
at, like,
but I don't know.
boxing your opponent. But without any MP5, it was really hard to use your abilities. It was hard to stay in lane for any appreciable amount of time.
Auto attack junglers are still going to be
alter to,
insanely
like, Death
good.
Toll sustain on your
Regular
mana,
warriors are
but
still
this
going to be good
extra
because Bluestone's
7MP5
not
will
getting
just kinda help
nerfed.
make it feel not so punishing to go for, especially because it has some interesting upgrades that help your team out. So we want to make sure it's a bit more reasonable for hunters to go.
Cool. So Leather Cowl will provide 7, and
Hunters will be
Cowl
15.
Will 15. Cool. Alrighty. Moving right along to Warding Sigil getting buffed as well. It'll be cheaper.
Yep.
Yay.
This
Save
This
money.
item is also getting a fix, which is cool. So first off, Warding Sigil, lower cost. It means that if you're worried about being bullied or you really need defensiveness early on, you can go Warding Sigil, and it's going to be lower cost. You have more gold to play with in the early game, which is especially important in a world without boots. But the second is the Infused Sigil actually got a fix to where if you got hit by an ability that like silenced you or knocked you up, you actually didn't do the explosion. That's going to be fixed, so now that explosion is going to be much more reliable. So we think also just the.
I mean, you are right. The fact that we're losing King Arthur and Cucullin and Wukong are getting nerfed, we might see less Bluestone, but they're still going to be decent.
We've also got some shifts happening for Tainted Steel and Tainted Amulet as well.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. Tainted Steel, the idea is like we want a starter that lets you kind of deal with healers early on if you know you're going to be facing that, but 20% does slow them down, but it's not really something that's going to help you stay in lane and fight the healer.
Okay.
So rather than try and like buff this item in like more anti-heal or more stats, we're actually just changing its identity to match Tainted Amulet.
Yeah,
so
they're adding that that healing steel.
Like Tainted Breastplate like it was
Yo,
before.
Serv's gonna be cracked if anyone has healing, bro. Serve against anyone with a fucking death toll?
Healing your opponent has in lane, but that'll actually sustain you.
Oh shit, good luck.
Efficiently. This should make it a lot more interesting to build.
Good and fucking luck, bro.
Fighting the healer more directly. And because of that, we've done some stat adjustments. We think Tainted Amulet probably could use a buff on its own right. So that went up to 20% to 30% anti-heal. And then finally, Tainted
Any good updates? They removed boots.
Since it's the 50% anti-heal, that's just getting some stat adjustments to make sure that when
boots are gone. You now get movement speed over your first 7 levels, and then hit 18% at level 7.
Okay. We've also got Jade Emperor's Crown getting buffed.
So we also looked at some items that bring interesting utility that are just kind of underperforming. Jade Emperor's Crown was one of them. It does reduce incoming physical damage, but it didn't.
I don't like when these items are buffed and good.
So like it kind of competes in the same space as Sovereignty in that regard. So just giving it some extra health should help that round out your build and make sure you're sufficient.
Not made solos, Guardians.
And then I think the final one is Tyrannical Plate Helm, which is a similar kind of utility item. This item brings some really interesting gameplay with trying to push your minion wave, but it was just really expensive, especially for who would likely build this your support. Just lowering the cost, making sure that feels easier to build into. Just a nice change there to encourage different playstyles.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Tyrannical with
all of the item balance.
He's got
some creep pushing.
Well,
yeah, he's got another section that he can take solo, and then I'll come back.
Oh yeah, okay. That's what I was gonna ask. If Clumsy wanted to come back.
No, I'm chilling. I'm having a good time. He's got this.
Okay.
He'll come back for.
They're gonna do something to junglers right now.
Okay.
I can feel it in my bones, bro. Junglers never go untouched.
Some of the big mid-season changes that are coming to relics. So first off, Meditation Cloak is getting a rework.
Correct.
What's changing about it?
So Meditation is definitely has an iconic role of being this. New players really build it, but it's not that good. It competes with
good.
Shell. It has some
Shell's
applications
hard.
that are good, but it's not quite as good as the other starters, and so we're looking to fix that. So first challenge was making sure that it has a clear identity that separates it from Shell. In this case, it's actually healing off your missing health. So now you want to use this when your team's low, when they're currently engaged in a fight. That's when it's most impactful. That's what separates it from Shell, just mitigating upfront damage. The second thing is now it pulses, so it's not immediate. So we can actually make this heal stronger because it's not something that like immediately burst heal your team, which feels frustrating to fight against. So it's actually just going to be much stronger in overall how much health it can restore. And then the final change is actually the upgrade. Previously, it would reduce your cooldowns. This one, Pulse, will actually reduce your cooldowns, but more because, again, it is this Pulse AoE that happens. So you can, with this upgrade, reduce your team's cooldowns by 2.5 seconds if they stay in all the ranges. So this basically gives it different utility when you're trying to like Siege of Phoenix. You get a lot of really good poke off and you want to keep going. Your support can pop Meditation. Your carries can get their cooldowns back and engage much more quickly than the enemy team can really recover from. So this should give Meditation Cloak a much better identity than it previously had before. Make it something that you actually want to build, and in playtest we have been building this quite a bit, so it's fun. We actually had to tone it down a little bit for release because it was 1 second and that was real good.
That sounds like fun though.
It definitely
I'm excited
is.
to see how that works out.
Yep, just shaking up, especially, and that's kind of the focus here, is looking at relics that are either underused or when they're used, they have very.
Also, David the 17, Man Buns, Oil Field, and Flux. Thank you for the resubs, brothers and sisters, girls and boys.
Yep.
Tell us all about it, Pawn.
So Sundering Spear does have a use case at high end play where like you can kind of like really set up.
Bro, auto attack jungling is gonna be fucking beat. What the
especially
fuck?
With 100% shield reduction, means that its effects can vary wildly. Also, it can miss. most relics can't miss. So it already has a whole bunch of variants to it.
What?
We wanted to make it so that this felt more interesting to use and had some more different use cases.
What?
So we're actually going to change how it functions and give it 2 charges. So now you actually can use Sundering Spear twice, but all of its stats, how much health it takes away, how much damage it does to shields, the stacking damage debuff, it was 20% before, now it stacks up. So now you can use it on 2 different shielded targets to get rid of some of their shield. You can use it on the same person to get your damage amp and a little bit more damage out actually for hitting 2 skill shots. If you whiff one, you still have a second chance to try and hit another one. So there's a lot more... essentially, the variance of this item is lower, but you also have some flexibility in how you want to use this, how you want to space out usage.
It does
bring this to multiple
30% of their health, the upgraded version,
item, and also has some really good synergy with Relic Dagger as a call out. So be on the lookout for that build. That's gonna be fun.
You lose 30% of your HP.
I've tried using Sundering Spear in the past. I don't usually pick it up, but now that it has like the 2 charges,
bro, what?
Like that's a game changer.
Yeah, it's pretty. It feels really fun to use. It just you get to just be flinging these out all the time. It feels great.
Oh, awesome. Next up, we've got Bracer of Undoing and Bracer of Undoing upgrade.
Yep.
What's happening?
They're gone. So if you're reading Meditation, you might have been thinking something that works off how much damage
bro, I got to use that shit one time with the bug fucking alternate timeline.
Well, Bracer of Undoing was doing very similar things there, just more personalized. And in a lot of cases, it was either too good and was really frustrating, or it kind of just fell out of the meta. So we think Meditation is the healthier version of that, and it already fills the kind of role that Bracer of Undoing was going for. So we're actually removing it, and we're replacing it with a new relic called Bracer of Radiance, which is focused around giving support something new and interesting to play around with. So Bracer of Radiance, this will actually now place a radiant glow at a target location that acts as a ward. So you actually have like a kind of pseudo ward that is in your inventory. This area that it creates, though, is actually an empowerment area. So you can pop this down like a fire giant, get some ward coverage, as well as your team can stand in it and get either power or movement speed depending on their health. And this persists for 8 seconds after you leave it. So it's actually quite long duration. You can use this to start a fight and get vision around the area. Your team can run through it and get a longer duration power buff than something like Girdle might give. But you can also use it to control spaces. And the upgrade further encourages that by making the upgrade that Radiant Glow is a sentry ward. So the supports who really want to focus on warding and giving their team that utility around objectives, they can go this Bracer of Radiance and have essentially a 100-second cooldown ward that they can pop down to maybe like clear Fire Giant, clear Gold Fury, or even just pop it down on the Phoenix just to give your team that extra power.
It's a fucking counter
really
ward.
Flexible in how it's used, and also really for supports who want to get that ward coverage without having to spend so much money on wards.
What the fuck is this?
Wards are really good. You should buy wards.
Yeah, and also you get some free ones. So anybody who has a 0 at the end of the game, we see you.
Especially because the free one counts.
Yes. But I have some questions. Can I ask you some questions about it?
Go ahead.
Can it be destroyed by the enemy team?
Yeah, so the enemy team can destroy this. It acts just like a ward. It doesn't provide gold to the enemy team, similar to Vision Shard. And it will refund a little bit of the cooldown back. So if someone, like, you pop it down and then it gets immediately destroyed, you get some of the cooldown back because you didn't get quite as much effectiveness out of it. So teams can destroy it to get rid of it.
Okay. And
this is going to be insane for fire and gold.
They would need a sentry to be able to see it. They actually don't see the field. They don't see the field.
You just fucking kill shit 10% past faster.
You can actually attack to destroy it.
Okay.
But they will see buffs on people. So
Fire
if
Giant, Phoenix,
you know
Gold
that's
Fury.
where one is because they just got that buff.
Okay.
But specifically Fire Giant, Gold Fury, you clear faster, and you also get a free counter ward.
Does it make the same sound that the wards make?
Yeah, it's revealed. It does the ward stuff. You see it get placed when it gets placed, and then it kind of fades out of your vision if it's not your team.
I would actually be really interested to see if this gets paired for objective burning
I was
with
reading this and I was like, I need a couple more answers.
So that's all the relic changes. Really focus on making sure the ones that didn't have a clear identity or were struggling.
They're gonna change the map, right?
They have more use cases now, as well as just something more interesting for supports to build to kind of go with their variety, because they have a lot of different relics they can bring to their team.
It's useful 6 times a game. I mean, that's just basic use. In every team fight, it would be useful. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for going over all the items, all of the relic changes. It kind of looks like Clumsy has a panda on his head.
What?
Because of the way that.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I've got a lot of banners. Pawn, which of the mid-season relic reworks are you the most excited for?
I personally am most excited for Meditation Cloak.
I don't know. Okay.
Because especially in the support role, I don't know what it is because like I've been playing.
Bro, mid-season living map change.
just like the
Two more
different build
vines.
starts that I can go that are really wonky that like feel like they're actually working. Meditation, being able to like support my team and being able to see all those numbers popping up, helping. Like that flow has just felt so good that I actually might just be a support me now. I don't know.
Oh, whoa, okay. I mean,
But,
support me. That works.
I'll probably play jungle still, but I at least will like when I get support as my role, I won't feel so bad about it. So I think meditation is my most exciting one.
Nice. I like double thunder.
What about you, Clumsy? Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say it anyway. So
Double
I'm
thunder.
excited. Yeah. I just love hitting people. I'm not missing my sunders. You're getting hit every time.
Yeah.
I can't kill you with it, but I'm still hitting you with it.
I think I like Bracer of Radiance. I'm excited to see how that's gonna play out. I love
Hey,
wards.
We got all three. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
So let's go ahead and talk about the gods that are going to be getting some changes during mid-season update as well.
Cheers, crack.
Are
True.
you ready to talk, Clumsy? I'm going to come to you first about Amaterasu.
I believe I'm not echoing anymore, so I
Amaterasu,
think we should
what?
be okay.
Nice.
All right, sweet. Yeah, Amaterasu coming in hot. So we have a lot of solo lane changes you guys have seen between the itemization, obviously
Charge the two
boost changes,
faster.
and the reduction of the strengths of King Arthur, Kakula,
A lot
and some
faster.
Amaterasu. We want to bring back a little bit. You know, we did some heavier nerfs to her previously, and now we're going to be increasing the rate at which she gains her charge for Heavenly Reflection.
Yeah,
This is
same
kind
as
of
the
to help
16-month
her out in
reset,
the
man.
early
Welcome
game,
back.
but also kind of in the team fight stage where it's not as easy to gain that charge from hitting the entire minion wave, for example. So transitioning to the late game, Heavenly Reflection will be a little bit easier to charge, and also bringing back some of the damage that we may have nerfed earlier on Dazzling Offensive.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and I think it's actually worth going kind of over what the idea of like all these god changes are. These are almost all buffs. I think there's one nerf in here, but the general idea was we actually looked at like the kind of lowest 40 in like win rate, pick metrics at high level, at low level, and SPL. Community kind of perception on how different gods
It's
work.
funny because
We
you guys were
wanted to
just
look at,
asked. Somebody
like,
was
the gods
asking
that
you
were
about
consistently
like
underperforming
2
on
days
all
ago.
those different metrics, and really bring them up just to give some extra god diversity in the mid-season.
Alma's gonna be an
Obviously,
annoying
tons of
soul
stuff are
winner, bro.
changing, but these gods that were consistently
You're gonna have
number
auto
one,
attack built
these felt like
Alma,
the safest
and it's gonna
ones
be
to really
fucking
adjust in
annoying
such a
again.
kind of chaotic different meta time that
Very
Higher
Higher
boost is
base
probably gonna
damage for
create.
clear,
So if you
plus
see gods in
sustain if
here,
you're going
almost
Death
every single
Toll,
one of them
plus
is going to be one that
Shoguns,
is
plus
underperforming
Berserker.
across many of these metrics.
Maybe Alma even plays with fucking
So
Mannequin. Who the
everybody
hell
that
knows?
we're going to name, we shouldn't be afraid of them at least for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
is what
until
you're
this happens, then they're going to be buffed and they're going to be real good.
saying. Okay. So next up we have Artemis, who nobody should be scared of. She's going to be getting a buff. What's happening with Artemis?
So the goal here is making sure that she has her utility feels sufficiently strong. She obviously
Okay.
can like really DPS someone down, and Tusk is a great teamfight ultimate, but her own personal utility and safety feels a little bit lackluster, as well as when you do combo off your support CCing someone, the Transgressor Fate locks them down, but doesn't feel like it does much damage. So we're just boosting the damage
They're
on
trying to
Transgressor's
buff
Fate,
her early game,
boosting the movements
slow,
you
like
get on Vengeful Soul,
barely.
and reducing the cooldown so you can use those tools more frequently.
They're just trying to buff her early game
Sounds good.
without going over the
Next
top,
up,
I guess.
Clumsy, will you tell us what's happening with Baba Yaga?
Yeah,
Or
so
Sweetie.
absolutely. Baba Yaga got some previous changes. She's gotten a lot stronger and she feels a lot more smooth to play, which is super fun, but she still feels like she gets, gone on a little bit too much. We want to increase her defensive
All right,
capabilities.
Baba getting defensive
Specifically
buffs.
with her 3 blast off, reducing the cooldown. 16 seconds is pretty heavy for an ability that can be cancelled while you're leaping. And the ultimate, of course, Home Sweet Home, increasing that knockback strength, so someone's actually diving onto you. The knockback will push them further away, and increasing that shield health that she gains initially from it. So we're overall increasing her defensive capabilities, and we're going to keep an eye out to make sure that she ends up in a balanced state.
Sweet. And then next up, we've got Baron Samdi.
Yeah.
What's happening with Baron Samdi, Pompon?
So lots of interesting changes here. None really focus on mid or support. They kind of help roles of different Baron Somni players. Hysteria now will gain 5 Hysteria up from 2 when you basic attack someone. So your basic attacks are much more significant in applying Hysteria. Vivid Gaze will now apply 15 per hit rather than 10, which actually means that if you double hit someone, you immediately apply the power reduction to them, even if they've had no Hysteria from before, which is
That's
a pretty
cool.
big utility increase. As well as Consigned Spirits is going to be getting a cooldown reduction overall. Just helps out with wave clear, but also helps give your team more healing and utility over the course of the game.
So a few things for him.
Yep, few things. Definitely just rounding out his whole kit. It's not like the damage buff we've been giving him to push him to mid lane. This is much more for like overall Baron's medi play.
Cool. And Daji is also going to be getting a buff to 1,000 cuts.
Yeah,
She can use it
so
more often.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that kind of is what it is, right? So we did those shell changes
Buffing
previously.
her
We expected a lot more assassins to come back into
Okay.
play, and we have seen a lot more of these assassins
That's
like Pele
random.
come back in. But
I feel
Daji
like that's
hasn't quite hit
extremely
the
random on
battlefield
Daji,
as
but
strongly
alright.
as we expected, and one of that is one component of that is 1,000 cuts, where the 13 seconds was a pretty heavy limitation in the jungle, where you want to make sure that you can still clear and outpace,
Yeah, they did it
or
for
at least
clear,
match
but
the
it's
other
gonna
jungler, and
affect team
Daji
fights
wasn't quite doing it.
and running
So the
away
cooldown
and
reduction will really
survival.
help her compete with the other junglers, specifically in terms of farming.
Cool. Something to look out for. And then, Pawn, will you let us know? It looks like Hachiman is also going to be getting a buff to Eagle Eye and Heavenly Banner.
Yeah, Eagle Eye, it just felt consistent to make it 4 shots at all ranks. This ability provides good utility and making sure you have access to that kind of like stronger poke potential where you can actually out-trade by range of the enemy hunter in the laying phase, making that just consistent across all ranks. Decreasing the cooldown so late game you have more frequency in actually applying this to enemies, as well as just lowering the mana cost because previously when you ranked it up you got more charges, but without that it just kind of felt lackluster, especially a little bit punishing even to rank it up to get that extra mana cost. So just making it flat at all ranks so that it's like there's no question in your mind whether you want to rank it up or
Cool.
Mhm.
We're also getting a buff to a god that I've been playing a lot recently because of the Boss Cat Battle Pass.
Oh, I forgot Heavenly
Hades.
Banner, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's
Totally skipped that. That got scaling as well as increased attack speed.
Why the fuck are we
just to make
buffing
sure, again,
Hachi?
his poke in
Okay.
lane feels good, his clear feels good.
Well,
but
Hachi's
also
so
that extra
boring.
attack speed is utility that he uniquely brings as a hunter. Just making sure that your team feels that as well as when you feel it when you actually pop it down on like a gold for your objective or a fire giant objective.
Oh, pain. I don't know. Maybe.
Alrighty. So now Hachiman's out of the way. Back to Hades.
Yeah.
Hachi just
Yes.
wasn't good, and he's boring.
What's going on with Hades, Clumsy?
You know, we're decreasing the cooldown on his Devour Souls by 1 second, but also when you ultimate, every time you hit an enemy, Hades' other abilities will have their cooldown reduced by 0.2 seconds. Now that's going to be interesting. You know, we've done some damage mitigation and protection buffs on his ultimate before.
What?
But the big problem really came in is when you use your combo and then you use your
You're gonna be able to combo everything again.
out of that ultimate.
You're
with not
actually
much
gonna
left in your
1,
kit, you're
2,
just basic
3
attacking.
ult, and
Well,
then
now,
1,
you're gonna be
2, 3.
incentivized with hitting as many enemies as you can, and that includes minions in the minion wave. And you'll be reducing the cooldowns on your other abilities, not your
That
ultimate, but your
includes the
other abilities,
minions?
by as much as you can. With CDR in play, maybe you'll
That
have
sounds
them
fucking like it's
Wait,
gonna have crazy
what is the
potential, just
cap?
not consistent
Yeah,
crazy potential.
No cap, but functionally, right? Like you're gonna kill minion wave pretty fast if you use this.
I believe it
there's only
ticks
so
like
many-
8 times
Why
or
the
so.
fuck did he just?
So you're gonna kill minion wave pretty fast if you choose to use this. You could burn your kit and then use your ult on a minion wave to reset it, but then you've ulted a minion wave, which is probably
Not a bad
the
idea.
best idea. But there
not
are
a
some
bad one.
applications where you're fighting in the minion wave or around like an objective, or even around a camp like red buff. Like red buff fights happen all the time. That extra minion being there will actually reduce your cooldowns. You might want to stay in it just to get all your cooldowns back.
And like Tiamat monsters and stuff?
Anything that would be hit by this ability, so I believe anything that would take damage from
Okay.
abilities counts, yes.
That's
Anything
crazy.
humanoid that takes damage.
So just not like towers. You should be fine.
Right.
Yeah, but you can't ult towers anyway, they don't take damage. Hopefully.
But what
That'd be
if?
a really fun bug if that existed for this long.
Right. Nobody had said anything. They just let it lie.
Mhm.
It did say no
Well, cool. I'm
cap.
excited to see what happens with Hades.
Yeah, bro, this was Meredith.
Yeah.
Infinite,
Yeah.
literally infinite abilities.
Habwa is next up. Pom-Pom, what's going on with Habwa?
Yeah, Hebo has most things going for him, except that we did nerf a lot of his early game potential.
Oh
We're just
my
bringing some of that
gosh,
back to
Jungle
make sure that
Hebo
when he does
actually
get
gets a
to
lot
late
better
game
off
where he
that.
can one-shot people with his
That's
ultimate.
a
Any
big
one of his
buff
abilities being considered
to
the
jungle
ultimate.
Hebo.
Making sure just
Your
he can
early
get
game
there
is
at the
gonna
end
be
stage at the start of the game.
fucking nuts.
A damage base would help out his both jungle clear for jungle Hebo,
Yeah.
as well as just making sure that he can
Your
actually
jungle
against
clear
enemies
in
at the start
your
of the game.
pressure
He'll
is
end up
gonna be
scaling to the same exact
fucking
value.
nuts.
This is really just an early game buff to help him get to late game.
Cool. I just realized we've got so many gods to keep going, so I'm going to rapid fire it a little bit more. Are
Let's
you
go.
ready, Clumsy?
Yeah,
Hell.
absolutely. Hell, so
What's
we've done
happening
a
with
lot
Hell?
of healer changes, and you're gonna see a lot of them in
Meredith
dispatch
on Hell
because
since we
we
should
did
be
a lot of
cracked,
healing
too.
changes previously with the brawling changes, and now we can see the
they're
dust is
buffing
settling,
her.
and Hell is a little bit underwhelming.
Oh, it's
so
just
we're gonna be
mana.
buffing her in a few
Just
different
mana
places,
changes.
mostly with her offensive side scaling towards the late game. And some mana cost reduction because you're going to be
And
firing
power
all those
scaling,
different
but still.
abilities in both stances. You want to make sure that you don't run out of mana too easily.
Sounds good. And then Hera's up next, Pom-Pom.
Yep. So making sure that Hera had some adjustments, kind of fallen out of the wayside, definitely can be strong. So just giving some extra base damage to Royal Assault, and I think the more interesting change here is Commanding Presence. giving Argus more magical power scaling. Late game, where it can be really killed very efficiently by like the enemy hunter or even like the mid mage if they can deal damage enough.
Would you
making
buff?
sure that you feel sufficiently rewarded for using it, trying to get it on
Buff
targets,
her everything
hits, or
else.
even just taking objectives
Which
or,
they did.
or towers. So some extra help in the late game there for Argus.
I hate Hera. Hera is not a fun fucking character to play or play
Clumsy,
against.
we've got Jormungandr to go over next.
Oh god, Yorm's coming back.
Yeah, Big Snack has received a lot of nerfs after he first came out because he's pretty prevalent pretty much everywhere in solo and support lanes.
Holy
we hit him with some
fuck,
nerfs.
you're gonna be
We hit him with some buffs, and we're finally landing back up on a small revert to basic attack damage. So it's a
never
halfway,
outrunning a fucking Jormungandr again.
And also we're gonna be increasing the movement speed that he gets while he's submerged. So that way, once he uses it, because he does have the reveal mechanic with a sonar, and if you hit him, he can actually travel a little bit further to try and get back on top of enemies, or his own pools faster.
Awesome. Great. Kali is up next. Pom-Pom, what's happening with Kali?
We're really focused on lowering her early mana costs. They all were decently high flat values, so just lowering it, giving her some extra mana to play with at the start of the game, should just help her use her abilities.
They added 6 damage to your 2 early.
But also, we're just increasing Lash's base damage. When you actually get the triple shot on the target,
it's actually
making sure
random as fuck, but okay.
We're actually hitting that relatively difficult skill shot to aim and confirm everything.
Yeah, dude, crazy.
Here so that she can compete with other junglers, which she's fallen behind, mostly because she can't spend mana on all her abilities, and her clear isn't just that.
I mean, she's gonna be way less mana intensive, that's for sure.
So trying to turn that around a little bit. Alrighty. And next up we have Mulan. Clumsy. Why is Mulan getting buffed?
Yeah,
Why?
so I mean, with her Mulan's release, we've kind of been consistently buffing her. We haven't really found, a point where she's been too strong. And now we're going to be hitting her with a couple of different spots. Just generally, we're going to be increasing her health, both at base and per level. And that's kind of an effort to make her a little bit more survivable. And that's going to be coming with the grapple change. If I skip a line real quick, she's going to be gaining protections. More protections when she uses the grapple, as well as actually when she masters grapple, she'll be gaining 5% protections as well as that movement speed. Because a big complaint that we saw from Mulan players was that whether it's her ultimate, even though we allow you to now cancel it, her grapple is not the most easily maneuverable ability, especially to escape, and she just gets killed. And for as a warrior, she needed a little bit of more protections, and so we hit her in these few places. And she also wasn't hitting particularly strong late game to be threatening, so Cross Strike is going to be getting a physical power scaling increase just by 5% per swing.
Okay, cool. That sounds good.
My dogs won't start barking. I don't know if they're barking
We've also got Odin coming in hot with a buff with mid-season. Pop-Pop.
If Odin in a set had a very similar story where they actually got a whole bunch of buffs, or they got reworked, they had a whole bunch of nerfs, and they were probably balanced at that point. Then we nerfed them a few more times because they were still perceived to be really strong.
It's almost like Hyra's listening to me.
Changes and has overall fallen into a much better spot, but
crazy.
has still been struggling. So we're going through and just reverting 3 key changes that we think were too much of a nerf for him. So Lunge and Raven Shout getting that decreased cooldown, and Gungnir's Might getting that extra scaling so that when you actually throw it, you're a bit more threatening when you throw it.
Alrighty.
Yeah, boots are taken out of the game.
And now we also are going to be seeing buffs for Ulron. What's going on with Ulron, Clumsy?
So Ulron, we wanted to keep a really keen eye after the magical ADC rings and changes occurred, and we noticed that Ulron was probably the ones that got buffed the least out of those ring changes. And it's pretty obvious because he's not just a normal mage ADC. He relies on some power, especially to gain some crit, so we wanted to give him some more buffs. Overflowing Divinity is going to be
20 seconds off the ult and the 40% CCR.
The really interesting one is Sanctified Field.
In his ult, which means if he gets hit by shit, he won't be fucked.
Only 140 seconds was a lot, but we wanted to be very careful because it's a pretty.
It's because in his ult, if he gets stunned, it's too long. Like it's double time.
While
You're
he's
just fucked.
inside that time dilation area, because as those of you may know, Sanctified Field actually negatively.
You ever seen an Ulron ult and then get stunned by a Ymir and not get to play the game for fucking 10 seconds?
With CC, and now the CCR should help.
Yeah, it's to counter his bug that they can't figure out. 100%.
Cool. It sounded like you might have something to say about it.
Which isn't even a bug. They said that's how they want. It's a bug, but not a high-res bug. You know what I mean?
And then Ratatosker is going to be getting a shift because of all of our boots and shoes and Elixir
What's up,
of
Zane?
Speed
Thank you for the 3 months.
We did not forget about him.
We did not forget about him.
So this is just us adjusting the numbers.
Ooh, so you just gain movement speed.
Coins is that it makes him move faster than other gods on the map. But because other gods now have a bit more flexibility in what their builds are, he has to build these acorns still. They are
just
flexible.
Get a little bit of movement speed over everybody for free.
Strength a bit more intense. So now it's a 6% increase of movement speed.
That's actually pretty cool for Rat. Like it's good.
It looks weird because we're like decreasing.
It sucks that you still lose an item slot that everyone else will have earlier.
By level 7, that change that we talked about earlier with the boots removal. So he will be moving 6% faster than other gods. We just think he could probably use a little bit of a buff, but 2, this also kind of offsets any of the changes that could happen with build diversity.
That's gonna be nice.
Him not being able to fully take advantage of
Colt Baby plays the fuck out of Rad. He's about to be in heaven.
So this is a buff for those who see decreased. It is a buff.
Yeah, we don't usually see things like that, but
right.
Different things are being shaken.
Yeah, it'll be a
mid-season.
cheap as fuck item. True. Very true.
Clumsy, can you tell us a little bit about what's going on with Susanoo, who's also getting a buff?
Yeah, so covering both these together between Susanoo and Terra. Previously, we made a change for Scylla, where she was able to fire Crush while CC.
You can now refire
just
while
times where
dead.
she might not have been able to before. And a lot of people clamored that if Scylla and Iset can do those things, then Susanoo and Terra were the logical next steps. And so, we agreed. We wanted to take some time to make sure we implemented it properly. But now Susanoo with Typhoon and Terra with Crushing Earth, they can now both refire those when you might not expect them to previously.
That sounds like fun. And we've also got some buffs coming in for Thor. Pompon, what's going on with Thor?
What?
Thor is another character who's been kind of.
This is all shit we've been talking about the last
We
week.
just want to make sure that he can utilize his passive, and when he lands with Anvil of Dawn, he brings enough impact. So Warrior's Madness, if you're in range to be hit by a hunter, we felt like you were kind of in combat range, which is the theme of this ability.
So they're buffing
So you're
passive.
actually going to be getting your Warrior's Madness at 55 units now.
And
Anvil of Dawn, just when you crash down, you're going to get that extra 10%.
That's
scaling.
really,
Probably use
really
Pierce War
garbage
kills more
buffs.
often, encouraging that very offensive Thor build.
That's it.
Like
That ain't shit, dude.
Awesome. And Toth is next up getting a buff. What's going on with Toth, Clumsy?
Yeah, we made a lot of changes with Hieroglyphic Assault and how the power scaling worked on that. And in the end, we're really happy with those changes. We just think it needs a little bit of a buff in its power, so we're going to be just simply increasing the per scaling from the hits.
Yeah, let's just randomly buff those. Okay.
Hopefully that'll bring it a little bit more in line.
Cool.
I think Clumsy can get this next one too.
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting.
And I'm excited about this because y'all were saying that almost everybody was getting buffed except for one
Except
person.
for one, yeah. So we do
and
have
that one person.
We have a lot of the nerfs again, just the structure in the bonus balance, right? The main patch has got a lot of buffs going on. So in case you guys were wondering about that. And Tiamat is going to be getting a nerf because this took a little bit more time for us, and we wanted to make sure we hit this. And it's going to be the Summon Serpents again. So we've talked about this in the past, and the idea behind Tiamat and Summon Serpents is we want to make sure that they still have their use case. And the use case is to push other lanes. Now, they have previously been too effective in that, and the problem was that even when they pushed the minion wave, 2 structures and 2 Titans and Phoenixes, they were still able to attack those while the minions were actually taking aggro. And that was a problem because the Serpents do pile up in damage, and even though we've nerfed how many can spawn from the deployables, they can still cause a lot of damage to those. So now, when a Serpent attacks a Phoenix or Titan specifically, but not the towers, because that's exempt from this rule, they'll actually take 1 pip of damage. That means they can only get 2 basic attacks off per Serpent on Phoenixes and Titans, and they will kill themselves off, and then it'll be all back onto the minions. This is another effort to make sure that the ability feels strong for its specific purpose, and we will absolutely address it again if we see them cause a win-in situation in the SPL one more time. And similar to that last statement, Summon Beast as well, we're going to be reducing the lifetime on that one because the Minotaur Bulwark was lasting just a little bit too long. Its own control potential will be halved.
So just to be clear, the Phoenix and the Titan are not going to be attacking, they just
exactly the Serpents themselves on dealing damage to a Phoenix or Titan will immediately just reflect 1 pip of damage back, so they can only ever get 2 basic attacks. If the Phoenixes and Titans are attacking the Serpents, then of course that might even be less.
Okay, that makes sense. Cool. Thank you very much, Clumsy. Next we have Freya getting buffed. Pompon, do you want to talk about that?
So Freya is a character that's been underperforming. Lots of history there. It's probably not worth getting into too much. But we did see that she actually did get a lot better with the ring changes. So we want to make sure any change we did to Freya didn't really exacerbate super hyper carry problems that she can sometimes introduce. One thing that we just think that she over struggled with was she just really
dude, this will be on YouTube soon in like 3 hours, 2 hours.
More mana to play with, so she can actually cast a Radiant and pulse more often. Just at the very start of the game. She does get out cleared by most hunters, so she still has her weaker.
I don't think mana is her biggest issue
not casting
at all.
abilities felt
not
especially unfun.
That ain't gonna do shit.
Around and really limited what you could do at the start. So opening that up should help Freya out in a way that we don't think is going to push her too far into the hyper carry territory.
I love Freya. I'm excited to see her get a buff. And then we've also got Nox getting a buff. Clumsy, what's going on with Nox?
What the
Well, we
fuck
added
is
that
going
minion
on?
damage to Shadowlock, and while that seemed like a controversial change at the time, it hasn't made her overwhelmingly strong in Conquest, and we don't think that's
They
what she needs to
slightly
make her
buffed
go
her
crazy. But we
clear
also wanted to make
off
sure
of
it still
Shadowlock,
felt
even though
effective,
very
especially
rarely is
scaling
that
into
even
the
a
late
thing
game.
used.
And that's where we're going to be touching Shadowlock. It's not for the early game; it's the scaling, magical power scaling,
Tally,
as
I'll
well
give
as
you
the
the title right
covering, towards the late game. So at least it'll scale better as the minions get tankier.
Fear.
Yep.
Awesome. And then last up, we're going to have a shift for, real quick, do y'all know what this cup is from?
You were saying
It's
earlier.
from the Emoja stream.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
That's what it is. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. When we all watched this beautiful cup for
I had to
like
go in there like
24
3 in the morning.
24 hours. Yeah, we all did little things, and it was really fun. If you missed it,
You bet.
you missed it. But anyway, Yamoja is why I brought that up, because she will be getting a shift with mid-season as well. What's going on with all of that? And it
You
seems
want
to
to
be a
handle it
lot.
clumsy, or should I?
I'll
figure out
talk
why my
about
dogs
the
are
first
barking.
part, then you can do.
Oh
the rest
no!
of it.
Please tell me they're
Sounds
not.
good.
I also want to talk about
needs
the
to gain
Omi
mana or
component.
25 to obtain extra Omi. She
We are
gains
still
one
very
Omi at
happy
level
on the
6,
design team
11.
with the way
Oh,
Omi functions for
that's
Yamoja.
crazy.
It is a replacement for cooldowns and mana. But one thing that we noticed was that the mana and MP5 requirement for her extra Omi was just a little bit too stifling. We were seeing people being forced to buy items that they may not want to, or just having to do some math on the side to make sure they actually got to that amount. So instead, we're going to be having her unlock her Omi at level 6, 11, and 16, allowing her just to have more build flexibility. And she will still gain mana and MP5 converted to health in a very similar way that Kukulkan does already.
So now for the rest of the changes, one thing we want to do is, so Yamoja is very, very prominent in the SPL level of play, but outside of that, she really struggles to see any like performance that's greater than even like 45% win rate, 44. She really definitely struggles there. So we want to try and even things out. And one thing we want to do is make sure that the high-end kind of abuse cases of CC and control are reduced by making sure that in more normal scenarios like just wave clearing, you feel like you have sufficient power. So Bouncing Bubble and Moonstrike are actually getting kind of this weird delay added, where the way it's going to work is if you go back to back to back, so if you cast 3 abilities in a row, there's actually a small delay on that 3rd ability before you can fire it again. This just makes sure that you can't chain these 2 fast together. That chain basically resets after that 3rd one, so it's really only for if you just double use it, just as fast as it was before. If you triple use it, you get a small delay. Then after that small delay, you can fire more abilities again. This just kind of slows down just how much pressure she can put out when she's generating a whole bunch of Omi. And that's being paired with also a change in Bubble Bounce for a small post-fire increase. The animation that she had of actually casting it was a bit longer than actually was being used, so you could cancel out of it quicker. So now it's going to match that. So again, that whole combo is just being slowed down a hair. So that in fights, you're not constantly dealing with this barrage of slowing and CCing effects. But with that, we're also bringing back base damage, which I think is going to be a big boost to her overall performance in both wave clear, early kill potential, contributing to team fights in late game. And so we're really just looking to kind of even out what we think is really being used at the top end with some buffs that are going to help her out overall.
Whoa!
And the final change is
we're buffing Bouncing Bubble?
Best team fight ults, something that really contributes a lot of strength.
Oh, what the fuck?
Okay, they're used really effectively. That's also just going to see a cooldown increase.
Yeah, Emoja's getting some weird changes.
Overall, her Omi being a bit more manageable, and you have some extra conversions, so your item builds are a bit more flexible. Bubble Bounce will do some more damage, but just kind of reducing how much spam and her ability to impact fights as often with her ultimate should put her into a hopefully better spot overall for all levels of play.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So tons of spicy and crazy mid-season changes that are coming for gods and items. If you missed anything, if you tuned in late, the notes are up. We've got Dev Insights on there telling you a little bit about why we're doing the things we're doing. But we're also got some map changes coming to Conquest, and we will go over those after this quick break.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be the fucking monster cat shit.
As the tides turn in Olympus, the surrounding seas spiral
You wanna play
into
fucking
chaos.
ranked Smite?
Yet the destruction gives way to new
Kind of filthy, dude.
new
I'll think about it.
encounters and new challenges to overcome. After the waters rise, will Olympus fall to the ocean's fury?
It's black map. You need to buy a light to walk around. They replaced boots with a flashlight.
You just saw a whole like side area that wasn't there before. Not quite side jungles, but it's definitely a lot of interesting stuff there. I think we're going to be going over all of it, showing what that was a Draugr model, right?
Yeah, for those of you guys who remember the the Loki Trials events from the adventure. Draugr's back.
Awesome. Oh no, Cupcake's muted.
Yep.
Are we playing charades?
Is
One
it
word.
better?
Yep, much better.
One word. Wait. Sorry about that, y'all.
Yep.
All right. But hi. Yes, that was crazy. So we're gonna be able to go in game, I believe. Is your internet good and ready, Pompon?
I am streaming. My internet looks good. I'm running around. I think we're good to show off everything. So
Let's
you can
do
go
Oh,
game.
yay! Awesome.
Let me.
So first things first, I can see that the lighting has really changed and brightened back up.
This.
Gonna walk a little
Hold
bit
on.
faster.
I'm not gonna say
yeah,
but I
can
think
see
this is
whole
the
map
lighting
changed,
that everyone
brightened
wants
up
in
a
life.
ton. The vine walls are gone.
Yes.
They no longer grow in this environment. It's
Bro,
inhospitable
Hi-Rez, listen to everything I've said
but
so
you
far.
can see
This
already
patch.
on the mini map quite a few changes here. So the big one, which we probably just talk about immediately, is the Draugr area and dual
What
lane.
the fuck?
Look at him. He's just chilling there
There
all
he is.
intimidatingly.
Oh, nice.
So this is actually a new objective for the dual lane for them
What
to fight
the
over.
fuck?
It's kind of a mini objective somewhere around a big Scorpion level of difficulty, not quite Goldfear or Pyromancer level of difficulty. And the idea here is for Draugr, when you take it, you get a little bit of extra team gold and team experience. So it's kind of like a mini, just kind of team objective you can go for. But when your team gets it, it actually will strengthen your towers against enemy sieges and give you a little bit more oomph in taking down enemy towers. So you can definitely pick this up.
Bro, what
to
is
help
that
you
healing
siege or
camp in the
defend against
back?
Sieges. This is a little
Look at the
extra.
healing camp.
We
back
wanted
here.
to really just give something different to
What
fight
the
over.
fuck is that?
And it does come with some interesting strategies early on. You can just kind of fight around for it. You can try and like bully your opponents out to try and get it. You can try and steal it from them. And then late game, if you know you're giving up Fire Giant,
That's the
sometimes
healing
scenarios
shit that's on the
happen.
assault map.
You can send one person over here to really quickly get it, so that you actually have extra defenses when they do come to siege down with that enhanced Fire Giant.
Yeah.
Enhanced Fire Giant definitely wins in that trade. It's not quite
Solo
enough
has
to
extra
beat
camps
it,
too,
but
bro.
It does help you out a little bit.
What the
and it
fuck
gives
are
you that extra
these?
strategic
This is split
sense
into
when over there
two.
If you know they're doing Fire Giant.
What?
The other thing that's been really interesting is not
What
just
the
the
fuck is going
Draugr, but
on,
that
bro?
location as well. While it's not quite a side jungle, it's brought a lot more just interest to the boxing for the dual lane. So, you know, whether it's the hunter and the support or just the hunters facing themselves down, you have two different ways you need to look out for. Exactly. Just kind of hide and wait. And we've found a lot of
Bro,
fun
AA
ganking
solos
from
are gonna
these
be able to
angles.
farm so much.
And
Also, you're gonna get
I know
snowballed
that
out of
we're
your ass
talking
if you're getting clapped in the
about
soul.
the duo lane, but I do see
Good
that like the
fucking
Harpies,
luck, bro.
there's
Yeah,
two now
that's
instead
right.
of the one.
Yep. So in dual lane,
I don't know
also-
if y'all want to talk about that now.
No,
No,
go
we
for
can
it.
definitely talk about things as we get them. But the Harpies have been
Ooh,
split
they
up.
changed up this
You
whole
have one on
area.
each side you can go for.
The
as
design
well
for
as
this area
there's
is completely different.
Structures over here in the back jungle.
Ganking in that area? If there's no
Different
wards?
structures, what do you mean?
Ooh.
You can see over here, not quite tower structures, but like how the map is laid out. You can see that
Oh,
back
yes.
Harpies. You still got your back Harpies over here.
What
but
is
you
that?
got
Turn
a
around.
Mini baby Draugr is chilling over here.
It's an extra camp?
Yeah,
Aww.
he's ventured far away from the Draugr pit, but this is now going to be a support buff for your team once it's taken.
Oh, is this the green buff?
Pretty weak. I'm just gonna
You're
give
getting
myself
beat
some
up?
items.
Yeah, so this is going to be the new jungle buff. It's going to be the green buff. And when people pick this up and grab it, jungle buffs on nearby allied gods will actually be paused in their duration, as well as providing maximum health and some protections as well for the wearer.
Whoop,
This does
whoop.
not include Fire Giant
Oh
buffs as well.
no!
This game
Oh no.
crash.
I crashed.
Was it the negative
Aw.
1400 minutes? Okay.
That's okay.
Is the emergency switch when you're losing your game? You just take it. Game's over. You're fine. No
Crashes
MMR
for
loss.
everybody.
That's
It's a
the new
draw.
It's a draw. Ogre.
So they added a
no.
support buff.
I will quickly get back in there, but we can kind of talk about the rest of
I
this.
wonder how much XP it is, and I wonder where it's gonna
Yes.
fit into
Yeah,
the
so you can see
pathing.
there that we also had some different stuff on Soul Lane side, where there's actually another Harpy over there as well for Soul
two.
Laners to fight over. Want to go over that a bit, Clumsy?
Yeah, so we've added a lot of intrigue, and we didn't want to leave out the solo lane side. So, kind of a little bit between the totem and the blue buff, there's another camp there that the solo lane can fight over. Well, you try and gain themselves, but honestly, if you're going to be pushing totem and pushing the enemy's blue buff, you can even fight for that. Or the jungler can help out once they're actually rotating for that blue buff. They might, if the blue buff is gone, or if the solo lane has already got it, or they're just going for a gank. There's actually another camp for them to take with the solo lane, or maybe just take themselves.
What is up with
As a
everyone
jungler,
muting?
where
The fuck?
sometimes going over Soul Lane can feel really risky because the person you're fighting can like turn the fight on its head, And so if ganks don't really go well, you feel like you've invested a lot of time on that side of the map. You have something a little extra to go over for, making that kind of failed gank a little bit softer.
So the junglers will go over to Seoul
and
and
you have a bit more to take now. So it can kind of go both ways.
we'll be seeing you guys taking your farms even more now.
Nice. I also saw in mid lane, correct me if I'm wrong, but there is like a shipwreck in the middle of the map.
Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of new artwork too. I am back in the game, so we should be able to look at it.
Oh, sweet. Let's jump back in.
There we go.
If we're back in, so you can see the map's been really brightened up, but we also have just a whole bunch of new stuff going on. In the center here, you can see there's a little bit like, you still have the claws that were still there. If we go over to...
This doesn't look any different right now.
There's a,
yeah, Soul Lane, there's some
shipwreck.
new stuff. So we'll head over there.
Nothing looks
the new
different.
camp and the shipwreck. And obviously, like we talked about earlier, vine walls are gone with this refresh.
Correct. So you can see over here, there's the ship just kind of floating over here. Got a poor crustacean who was not ready for whatever happened here.
That's pretty cool.
See wrecked into pieces over here. So you can see some of the old stuff from different maps where like this map is really this evolving thing where different things have happened to this land. You can see old things there. You can see new things added, like these shipwrecks. Really just kind of like showing just
Mannequins
how
is gonna be better. I don't know how much better.
Battles have been really affecting the map overall. And you'll be able to get an idea of also just this harpy area, just so you can actually see where it's at. It's on the way to blue, so you can take it while trying to go for blue. You can take it while you're like looking or waiting to gank this lane. You can fight over it if you want to like invade and try and take all these harpies. It's quite a bit of experience. So it's a bit lucrative, but there's definitely some stuff going on all over the map for all the lanes. Dual lane getting the Draugr objective, but Soul lane getting that kind of extra thing to fight over. And then mid lane, obviously the Vine Wall not being here opens up a lot of different stuff for them. As well as they might have a little bit more reason to go over to Soul lane side now if you want to contest over those extra harpy resources.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of new kind of like pathing and things to fight over. And I love seeing the lore come into the battleground and like be part of the map. I think that's so neat.
Oh wow. Yeah.
I think support and jungle start green.
Because I guess that would make
No.
sense. But...
there's like starfish all over the place too. Like I was walking around, I just saw like a random.
Green might be like a second rotation out of base buff if it doesn't give enough XP and gold.
That's so neat.
Yeah, and
shout out to the environment art team.
Absolutely,
GG.
the environment art team, the level design did a fantastic job. And alongside all
jellyfish.
Wait, where?
Right
oh,
there.
whoa! Look at that.
Oh yeah.
A tons of really small details that the environment team has been able to put in here. Just really cool stuff. Are the crabs still there? Yeah, the crabs.
Green
are
is
still
a support buff now.
Gotta make sure.
And alongside the different objective changes, there's also a whole lot of balance we did with the injection of new things, as well as the boost changes, of course. There's going to be a lot of changes between the Fire Giant, the Oni, the Oracle, Scorpions, the Harpies. Have a look at the patch notes to get a good grasp for yourselves.
I really don't think anyone starts at that buff. I can't imagine it giving that much XP and gold.
Or the buff rewards.
If the lifesteal was previously 7 on Enhanced Red, that went to 10, just to give you an idea of the level of
I think this is the end of them, Riley. Unless their skins.
What Purple was really giving.
I know that you crashed right before you actually got the green buff. Do you want to get the green buff?
I don't trust it.
I want to know how much XP and gold you get from this. I really think it might be a first back buff for support, unless it's a crazy buff. If it's crazy buff, then you'll want it in lane.
There's a few things like, for example, the map is not quite final. There's a little bit of stuff still to be kind of like refined. Obviously, this won't crash when you take it. So stuff like that we're still working through. But the buff itself, just to kind of talk about it a little bit, is a support buff. It gives you that extra sustain. It's relatively easy to kill, so that support can kill it on its own. We had a lot of iteration on balance to make sure that you felt like you could sufficiently take this when your jungler was doing other things, as a thing you could take when you got going back to lane. And it does also lock out the timer on any buff for your teammates. So if your mid laner has red buff and you don't want to lose it, you just stand next to them. They're not losing red buff. It won't tick down. So you actually can bring buffs longer into different team fights.
Oh, it just extends buff.
It makes you want your support around you to keep the buff longer.
That is
different.
Epic.
I don't know. Not really
buff
epic. It's kind of meh. Is that all it does?
I love it. I'm excited to be the carry that has a support who has.
So that's all it does.
I will have to change that.
No one's gonna give two. Like it'll help for gold XP, but no one's gonna give a shit about the buff.
Take it.
Oh, it gives you more HP.
Yeah, that's probably actually my timer thing. I think
there we go.
You get it. You get the new belt visuals. Yeah, the buff information. It tells you exactly what's gonna do. All the stuff.
Grants plus 50 max HP. Okay,
everything you need
so
from a buff.
maybe they will want it in lane. That's a lot of early XP.
Well, perfect. Thank you so much.
I like the green though. The color's good.
I appreciate you going through all of the conquest changes for us, showing us what's going on with the map. And that's going to cover it for conquest stuff for now. If you have any questions, make sure you check out the notes. But now let's talk about some community news, some stuff that's happening.
It gives you more HP for every 50 protections?
So
All right, that'll be a
thing I wanna
nutty
talk to
thing
y'all
mid to late
about
game.
is we do have the summer solstice sale. It is still going on, but it will be ending tomorrow. So if you've been holding out for some reason, go ahead and grab what you need. It will be going away tomorrow. This weekend, you can earn 2 times worshippers. You can follow us on social for that, but it'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then also,
while they do skins, I gotta go. Someone's at my house. I'll be right back.
To the Jazzberry
Someone
Jams.
who's doing my fence. Give me 1 minute.
So we got the Jade Dragons who won over the weekend. So congratulations to
you. 1 second.
Get jammed.
Those are really fun games to watch. Very fun.
I missed it, unfortunately, and I had planned on having jelly on the show, so I could be like eating jelly and be like, get jammed.
Nice.
Well, the first weekend I wasn't actually like tearing up my house, so I actually got to watch it like fully, like as it was happening. It was really good.
That's what's up. SPL games are always so hype. So now we will get into the skins that we'll be releasing with the mid-season update. But first, let's take a quick break and look at Morgan Le Fay real quick.
Trying to injure more than my pride, Merlin.
Apologies.
Hello, old friends. We have so much to discuss.
Foolish Arthur Pendragon. Do you still trust your demonic advisor? His wicked magic led to Camelot's fall. Camelot, Olympus, both will bend to my will.
Welcome back. We just took a little look at some Morgan Le Fay stuff. With Morgan Le Fay hitting the battleground, she's actually going to be bringing a new event to Smite. So that will be the Court of Midnight event. With that will come all kinds of new skins that will release periodically, but we'll go ahead and show you the skins that we'll be releasing with the mid-season update, along with what the final reward will be as well, if you want to go for the buy all option and have that, I was about to say that Poseidon skin and spoil it. But we'll show you all of that. So the first skin that I'd like to show y'all is Hyperspace Loki. So all the Loki mains, get ready. This will be part of the new Court of Midnight event.
He's so handsome. He doesn't deserve to be that handsome.
I was gonna say he's looking suave.
He's cool. I like him a lot.
Well, I like the eye too. That's like augmented.
Yes, and it looks like all of his gear has been upgraded. He's ready to go. He's not a noob. He's been through this before. Let's check it out in game with a turnaround video.
Ooh, that looks so good.
Look at him. I don't think Loki's ever looked so good.
I actually like how like thick that jacket looks on him. I was worried that it might be like a bit too like kind of flimsy, but no, that's like super robust, like space pirate jacket. It's awesome.
Yes, he looks like he's being protected and he's warm.
True.
Let's listen to what he has to say.
Into the skies! We have more ships to plunder, boys.
Oh, his mechanical leg. I didn't even notice.
The left
Yes.
Oh, that's so
I
cool.
love it. And he's got like the skull and crossbones, I believe, was on his back.
On his back, yeah, I saw that.
So he's almost like space pirate guy who is going to take over the battleground, and I like him. I think he's great. He can join my team. Next up with the event, we've got our first Morgan Le Fay skin, Crimson Magus Morgan Le Fay.
Whoa.
Would y'all say?
She's so creepy.
The dragon in the background too. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I was like so stuck on looking at those vivid colors coming from her gown. Wow.
Her sword too is super cool.
Yeah, the white and the red and the gold. Oh, that color scheme is just awesome.
I love it. Let's hop in game and see what she looks like.
Just as cool in game.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh,
I love it. It's like almost pearly or like dare I say, like bone material?
Yeah,
it's
sure.
Like bone.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, look at the sword.
Oh, my
love
god,
it.
yes. I know that it's not part of the skin, but I just love that her sword is floating behind her. I know that's for all of her things, but I just think that's so sick.
Real spooky.
Let's listen to her voice pack.
This battlefield is scarred with brutality and torment. A fitting location for my ritual magics.
A fitting voice for an amazing skin. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it all day. So this is going to be, again, the first Morgan Le Fay skin that we see hitting the battleground. And I think that our art team really knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's awesome looking.
And then the final reward of the Court of Midnight event is going to be Might of Neptune Poseidon. So let's check out.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Ooh.
It's got like a similar genre of theme going on. And I mean, that's a Kraken. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Version of it, why the other one was more like kind of like this weird like futuristic like dark magic. Oh, this is cool.
And I believe we're gonna hop in game to check this one out. Are you able to hop in game?
I did not have that on my notes, and I am not ready. I can.
Okay, that's fine.
If you're ready to spoil something, because I'm not on the right map.
Oh, that's okay. We can do the turnaround for this, and we can post on social some more of our in-game stuff for him as well.
We can also come back to it because I know everyone wants to see Kraken, so we can come back to it in a little bit.
Yeah, let's come back. That'd be awesome. But I love that he's almost like his what are they called? They're not like drapes. Like his cloak of sorts almost looks like it's got like cutouts and an interesting geometry to it.
I still love the weapon. I'm always like looking at those feature points, and I think it looks super sick.
Let's listen to the voice pack.
Our foes can still serve our purpose. How unfortunate they only have the capacity to understand violence.
The echo on that was sick. Like,
yeah, it's creepy.
I can tell he's in his helmet, you know, talking.
Reverberates in your head.
That looks awesome. But that is going to be all of the new content that's part of the Court of Midnight event. Again, it's going to be a new event that launches with mid-season, so keep an eye out for that. And again, that Poseidon will be the unlimited reward at the end of the event. You can buy all and play it day one if you'd like, and then continuously earn content throughout the event.
Yep, and then we'll go back and see what the Kraken looks like, because we have to see what the Kraken looks like.
Yes. It's in the card art and everything. And now I want to talk to you guys about some more content that's coming with the update, which is part of the Brunch Time chest. Check this out. I don't want to say anything. Just look.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So,
stack of pancakes.
This is Sunny Side Up Bacchus. Say hi, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
We've got the
face being made
Thanatos.
of eyes and like bacon.
Yeah.
He has like bacon belt too.
I love the
bacon
syrup jug.
I hope that. Oh, actually, his VXG, he pours syrup all over himself.
Oh, see, that's yeah.
Yes.
That's you know what? That's what I would want for that skin.
Perfect.
Fried.
And
oh my gosh.
The
I'm
fried
hungry.
chicken, the cinnamon roll. I'm like, this looks pretty dank, and somebody should cosplay this.
Had a lot of wood
use,
dropped
like,
off.
real
What
food.
the fuck is that?
Oh no!
Oh god.
Pancake Bacchus? Wait, no. What the fuck?
Yeah, it'd be sweaty and
Con
disgusting.
staff would hate you.
What the fuck am I looking at?
Well, unless
French
you gave
toast
them a
sticks?
pancake.
Yeah, fair.
What's you got? A chicken leg? Some maple syrup? What the fuck is this?
On moi, will ya?
God.
Is donuts for arms?
Nice.
I love
Oh,
it.
it's too
I
good.
love
Pop-Tarts?
it. So that tasty treat will be available.
Wait, that's not
through
even a
the
waffle,
Brunch
though,
Time
right?
chest. You
It's
can
just
also
his
get
head
it
is
for
the only
direct purchase
waffle.
if that's more your thing.
It's not even a chicken
And then the
waffle
last
skin. There's
little
more
bit
shit
of
on there.
content
There's
that we'll have
pancakes.
available for the mid-season update will be this.
Bach feast?
Not like this.
I was like, wait, am I about to say something I shouldn't say?
Where are the eggs at? Were there eggs?
Do you want to introduce it? The Morgan skin?
Yeah, it's the Doomsayer Sensei the Morgan skin, and I mean, I love this lineup, and she looking cute.
Oh my god,
This
yes,
is
she does.
my favorite, the Morgan skin.
Yeah, I think so too.
I love it. I feel like she looks like a teacher or something, and I'm like, teach me a lesson. I love
Sensei,
you.
please. We
Whoa,
got the handsome Loki, and we got the cute
whoa.
Morgan. I'm all for it.
I love it. Let's hop in game
Taylor, watch
to
out, Bubba.
check it out.
No, move pulse.
Oh, and her clones are in the card art and everything.
Mm-hmm. I love the asymmetry. I think that's one of my favorite parts. You got like the gauntlet and the shoulder pad on
Pyra,
one
who
side,
made this?
and just the simple left holding the staff. Very cool.
And even her tights are asymmetrical
Yeah,
as well.
that's true.
And her hair is sick.
Oh yeah, everything about the skin is sick.
I love her. Let's hear what she has to say. Maybe she'll tell us something cool.
Class is in session.
Well,
okay, all right, yeah.
The second I'm
and
signing
I'm
up
here
for
to
that
learn.
class.
Right. Oh, awesome. Well, that is going to cover everything besides
clumsy, dude.
the Stranger Things Battle Pass.
No.
In terms of content that's coming with the mid-season update. So check it all out. Again, we've got new events, new chests, new skins, new balance, new relics.
That was a Morrigan skin.
But we
Didn't you said
hop
Morgan
into
got
the
a skin?
Stranger Things Battle Pass right after this.
Stranger Things Battle Pass, gamers. That Sylvana skin is fucking sick, by the way.
What has happened? Oh my goodness. It seems like
this
we're
is cringy,
upside
bro.
down. Welcome back. I am Titan Cupcake, still here with Clumsy, but we have Hi-Res Dandy with us for the first time ever. Welcome, Hi-Res Dandy. How are you?
Very good. Definitely feeling upside down right now.
Yes.
Blood's running to my head.
And I'm so glad that I put like a lot of hairspray so my hair wouldn't,
That's true. That was important.
Down to the floor. But just to introduce y'all real quick, Hi-Res Dandy is the Smite community manager as well with me. So we work on the same team. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thanks for joining us. And this is your first update show.
Yeah, it's awesome and interesting and cool and horrifying, and I love being here. So
yay!
The Upside Down Arena sounded pretty cool.
And we are going to be talking about all things Stranger Things for the Stranger Things Battle Pass that launches with the mid-season update. And with that, we're actually going to be launching the Upside Down Arena. So I believe we'll be able to hop in game and take a look at all the changes that are coming with the Stranger Things Upside Down Arena.
Nice.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
That's cool.
Oh my gosh. So right off the bat, you can see that we've got the Mind Flayer in the sky peering down on you. We've got like this darker...
The portals.
Yes! The portals were rebuilt.
I think the portals are so cool.
So well done. That looks amazing.
That does actually look sick, bro. Why can't we have cool shit like that for our portals in normal games?
So much of the show has. And there's all kinds of Easter eggs throughout the map. So as you play, what is that to the left? What's
that looks curious.
Yeah. We've got the Christmas lights.
Oh, sweet. Nice. That's smart.
It is so awesome. And if you, like we said, there's tons of Easter eggs. So as you play, check them out, explore the map, look around, look up, look down, look at everything.
It's going to be
always look behind you.
Yeah.
And maybe even check out what that wall might say with the Christmas lights. I don't know. You check it out. See what you think.
True. Let us know.
But there's movement in the environment as well, so it'll be almost like a breathing map of sorts on the arena map. Also,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that kind of shit's dope. I should do that shit for the normal game.
And then we also have the crowd that we usually have that's always cheering you on. That's actually all going to be sludge and cocoons to reference the Upside Down as well.
Looney, thank you for the 5 months. T-Butt,
really
thank you for the 9 months.
Detail. Amazing work.
Sly with the 5. Red God with 36. 3 years, baby. Downfall at 16. T-Bone at 18. Thank you, guys.
With mid-season has been really fun.
Oh, we're not Upside Down anymore.
Check out the Upside Down Arena when the update goes live with the mid-season update. But we've also got tons of different Battle Pass skins to go over as well. So this Battle Pass will also have we'll have the paid track, the free track, and we'll also have a prestige will be coming back again as well. So the first little bit that we will be talking about is going to be Hopper Apollo, who is going to be the buy-in reward. And he is here to figure out what is going on and discover a way to beat the craziness of Stranger Things in the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Let's take a look in game. He looks so sick.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. He's about to solve some problems.
Yes, and who better to help out the team than Apollo? Like Hopper Apollo coming to the rescue. I'm like,
Skybox,
yes,
save the 7.
I love the guns.
Who benefits the
I'm
most
excited
with the
to see
boost
Apollo be
changes?
shooting
I don't
them
know.
off. It's going to be
Hopefully
fantastic. Let's listen to the voice pack.
We're gonna need some rules around here. Rule number 1, always keep the curtains drawn.
That's so good.
That's awesome.
That reminded me of Grand
Our
Theft
audio
Auto.
team wanted
I don't
us to
know why.
shout out Noah from our audio team because he put a lot of work into making sure that Hopper's basic attacks feel really good and that his ultimate sounded great to incorporate the Stranger Things music
Golden Blade
theme.
Arachne should be
So
nuts,
keep an
yes.
ear out for all of those
Yeah,
little things to look out for.
Battle Pass is
And
sick.
then
This is like a
also
really
he
good Battle
has
Pass. I
a
don't know why
special
people
VXG where
anyone's
he will
like
leave a
against it.
waffle out for 11 on the ground, and the waffle will
Nice.
persist and just chill.
He throws a waffle.
And then,
That's
of course,
fucking
he's
top
gonna
tier
be riding
too.
on that helicopter.
Yo, waffle sounds good, but no chicken.
And I believe we can hop in game and take a look at some of the things that, like the VXG, listen to what he has to say. It looks so good.
It's very good. I'm so excited. I'm gonna leave waffles everywhere.
Yes, for real. It'll be like leaving the little trail of waffles to find your way back to base.
Yeah,
Is that what Bacchus did for his skin? He just picked up all the waffles.
Yes, he reassembled himself after Hopper Apollo left all the waffles behind.
Yeah, that's new lane comp. You have to have the 2 breakfast warriors.
Oh, true.
Oh, here he is. And he's in the upside down arena. It looks amazing.
So good.
Ooh,
oh, neat.
Yeah.
I
can
love
already,
the wind up on that.
I can already see what you meant to do with the audio effects. All the attacks sound and feel really good.
Oh, that's cool. Is this like a full charge? I like that.
Oh, so cool.
So awesome.
Aww.
Oh.
Oh.
Aw, it's so sweet. Leaving a little waffle behind for 11.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah, we
got
left it
stuck in the
before
goop
on
last
yeah.
time.
The upside
Can't eat
down
that.
confiscated it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. And here we go into the ult. Yes.
So
We
good.
go take a look at the crowd that's now covered in all kinds of goop. Oh, that looks so sick. So again, this is going to be your buy-in reward. So you get the battle pass, and then immediately you've got access to this skin right here for Apollo.
The sounds do sound really good. What the
And you can
fuck?
play Hopper.
Oh, that actually sounds super cool with the
Yeah,
attack speed.
dude, the
It really
sounds
does.
are in like perfect. Literally,
So you can hear
what the
cock it
fuck?
back too right before
Okay,
he dives out of
dude.
that hole. So
His
good.
one is nuts.
This does feel and sound really smooth.
His 3
It
is
works
nuts.
so well
Bro, this
for Apollo.
okay. Even if you don't give a fuck about the show, it's just a better skin than all the other skins. What the fuck?
Sweet. And now we've also got
okay.
the Demigorgon Bakasura. And I can't think of a better suited god. Oh my god. Look at this.
Yeah, I think there was only one choice, really. Bakasura makes
Yeah.
the most sense, because this is creepy.
Yeah,
Yes.
you scared me switching to this card art.
I love the card art looking like you're hiding. You know, it's like, it reminds me of
yep.
that episode where everybody's in that, the room and they're all, they don't
Yeah,
want to make
I'm
noises,
interested in
they
the rest of
wanna
these skins
find
because
them.
Hi-Rez might have made their best skins ever, like in terms of
Oh my
all
gosh.
around.
Oh, it just
I'll
got
just
worse.
look.
Because now it's moving. It's
Yeah.
Jason.
Dude, even the visuals on this, look
Now
at
it's
this.
actually
Like, there's no
fucking solid.
smooth
Like,
garbage
if you weren't
fucking
scared of
feet or anything
Bakasura
on this skin. Look
before.
at how good it is. Look at the
Right?
texture on the fingers.
Let's give a listen to the voice pack. I would expect nothing less.
Yeah.
That's my stomach after the
This goes
Bacchus
live
thing.
July
Yeah.
13th.
I love it. And I love like the attention to detail because there is going to be a VXG where he can go on all fours.
This is fucking wild how good they did with this.
I love how fidgety.
Iris has the best skins in video games.
Yes.
All video games, they're the best skin company.
Give it a look.
What the fuck? Look at the wall.
The audio team told me that.
Oh my god, okay, this is sick.
Look at him go.
Bruh.
It's so creepy.
No, don't do that.
Oh my god, stop! Oh, imagine, this is why I'm going to have nightmares.
That's a good skin.
It is so sick. And the sounds are so spot on.
Yeah, like the shrieking and so good.
The audio team wanted me to let y'all know that they worked really hard to make sure that the Demigorgon was able to
honestly,
keep,
Valen, you need to go get yourself a girlfriend, dude.
Identifiable, but match the textures of the character and make
you
it
need a
sound
girlfriend
a lot
stat.
cooler. And Chad put a lot of work into this from the audio side.
I'll buy you one if that's what you need.
Yeah, thank you for sure, Chad, because this is nightmare.
Ooh, I like it.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh god.
He actually ate it. Wait, what? Hold on.
Nothing is safe. Oh god.
Is that just an interaction with the arena,
I
or
wanted to play games where everybody is
it any creep?
the Stranger Things Battle Pass skins in the Upside Down arena.
That's
terrifying.
Is that just the arena, or is in Conquest if I eat a different creep, it's gonna look different every time? Is that sick?
He even ate one of his little minions.
That's sick. It's everything. Bro, what the fuck?
Amazing. Fantastic job from our team. This looks
Alright, these are literally the best
incredible.
skins.
Oh yeah.
Ever.
And we've also got the Mind Flayer Sylvanas. So not only will the Mind Flayer be in the sky during the Upside Down arena, but we will also have the Sylvanas skin available for you as well. And
I'm actually fucking a little mind blown by how good everything looks and the sounds.
Those teeth and
They're literally showing us what they could do if they really wanted to go like 200%.
I was trying to say his skin, but it is not skin.
Oh my gosh, his rotted, fetid corpses. Yeah, just that is nasty and amazing at the same time.
He's way too wet. No.
Yes, and it again like breathes the same way that like the map does. You can like watch it like grow and ooze and be
tendrils
disgusting.
Yeah, it's
crossing through his body.
It's like moving, yeah. Oh.
Let's give the voice pack a listen.
Something is building.
Amazing.
Very much so.
Shout outs to Noah on the audio team for making sure that he sounded really juicy and dark.
Yeah, it sounds like he's in my head and I don't like it.
His movement. Oh my gosh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
He's like spitting like coagulated blood almost. Oh man.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Wait,
yes.
what? It's like a little arm coming out of his back to do that?
Yeah. His little like
his basic
attacks?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that.
Look at the
one. It's like a corpse like arm coming out of him. That's wow. The attention to detail in this is fantastic.
Yes.
His awful little Demogorgon flowers.
What's this too?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. There's a visual on him.
All the squishy sounds too. I'm like, ugh.
Parasites. I like it. This is really cool.
That's a clean 3, bro. What the
And he
fuck?
also has a VXG where he will turn into a big ball of goo.
Oh no.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
It's a good skin.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Okay, Riley, you can't say that shit, dude.
It makes.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh my god, look at it.
Bro, you look, you kind of hide.
The fact that it's just constantly moving is so unsettling.
Oh,
yeah.
It's so creepy.
Dude.
Yeah.
And he'll just walk around the map, just chilling.
I heard we want to check out his wave as well. Or could you do it standing still? Oh, what?
Oh my god, look at it! Is it weird that I think that's like really cute?
I was about to say, I'm struggling because the word cute doesn't feel right, but I want to say
But it is.
Yeah.
But it is.
Alright, we have different definitions of cute. That is terrifying.
I love it. Can we see? Yeah. Amazing. So yeah, we've got the Mind Flayer Sylvanas, and then last but not least, of course, we have 11. So Scylla, we could right? I'm sure y'all have seen this art before. This will be her card art. So sorry, go ahead.
I was just say the red highlights it so well.
Yes. And her outfit, that iconic outfit.
Yeah, so memorable.
I'm so excited for y'all to see this in game too and see how the abilities interact with like 11's lore. But let's listen to the voice pack real quick.
I'm the monster.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Man,
Slay.
So excited.
What are you trying to do, Pawn? Pawn's like typing something.
Oh,
so yeah.
Oh, that's
okay.
awesome.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Telekinetic powers.
Yeah, that looks so good.
Those are clean as fuck.
So sick.
Yeah, I love the color of the effects too.
The visual on it going out is dope too. What the fuck?
They really pop on this map. It's like you know that she's here to help.
Yeah.
I love the door.
Yeah, the slamming noises. That sounds so good.
But the
it's so creepy. Oh, damn.
Okay. That is so, especially with the car alarm and everything.
car
That's
alarm.
awesome.
Will you do it again?
Nice. We want to see more.
Yes,
Smash
yes,
in
yes,
time.
yes, yes.
Okay.
And if you have a look as well, I think upon showing it off well, that car actually gets more and more smashed up. Look at that. You can see it's on fire
dude,
now.
that's sick.
Wow.
What the
I didn't
fuck?
even
Hold on.
notice that.
Start it over.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Again, it's all about that attention to detail. Very cool. Well
This
done.
is
to-
clean
to,
as
like all
fuck.
the different art teams.
True.
Oh yeah,
Round of
that's sick.
applause.
What the fuck?
And to the tech teams as well to get these all in.
It actually does get more and more
That
smashed
is
until it
so
catches on
sick.
fire.
I did not know that.
What the hell?
Oh my god, dude. Our team is OP, let's be real.
Yeah.
So true.
Oh my, yes, and that's her VXG where she floats.
That's so intimidating.
And then I believe that when she uses her ability where she summons the door, I believe she puts on a blindfold.
Oh, that's
yeah.
crazy.
I just saw it. Yeah.
That's so cool.
And can we look at her face while she does these things? Because I don't want to say
Yes.
something that's not true, but I think that there's something else. It might be
Nice.
after her ult. But I love that. Oh my gosh.
Tally, I sent you a new title.
I can save them.
Okay.
Okay. She's got her blindfold on.
Slow-mo car crash.
The car comes crashing down.
Yeah, her nose has to start bleeding, right?
It's the two she cracks her neck. Interesting.
You said with her two, she cracks her neck?
Yeah, if you look at that when she pops it, she tilts her neck.
Oh,
up to the
oh,
side.
yes, yes. To like, or like, what's the word? Yeah, detonate. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sitting here waiting for like nose, the
Just
blood
with
to
all
start
of
dripping
these,
everywhere.
The attention to detail is just insane. Like all the references are just so enjoyable to see.
It is like so many details were brought to life.
Bro, O'Reilly.
So she will be the final reward of the battle pass, the paid track. There is going to be a free track as well, and there's also going to be a prestige track. The way the prestige track works. Oh, look at this Hopper
There we go.
PI.
That looks
Thought the other
good.
one was cool.
Bro,
Yeah,
he
this
didn't
is
even look
looking
like that.
very
What the
cool.
fuck?
This is.
I want
This man's a
I
jack.
want that shirt. I want it.
This will be part of the prestige track. So the way it works is you'll finish the battle pass and you will unlock the prestige track after that, which will reward you with more skins. First off being the Hopper PI Apollo.
Yeah, this is the one I'll be using for sure.
Yes,
Same.
and he's got he looks like he's been hit in the head. He's got
He's been in a fight.
True.
Yeah.
He's a brawler. He's tough.
But that shirt is beautiful.
Yeah. I'm an Apollo main now, so that's cool.
So these will have, I believe, the same effects.
Why is
Same
it
voice
in buff
pack
Apollo?
as
and Baka and Sylvanas
counterparts from the regular Battle Pass
and
track. But we can give the voice pack a listen if we'd like.
You better go home.
Why is that so flat?
It's your grandma.
Oh my god.
It's so good. What a good reference.
And then with the Prestige track, we will also have Star Court 11, Scylla. With this outfit, yes!
Stylish.
This is super cool. Like, I love the contrast between the two different like skins we've got for 11.
Yeah.
Yes, so different, and I love this. You can see like all the little sprinkles like following her, and we've also got the ice cream shop, the Ahoy in the background, you know, calling out those references from the show.
Yeah.
So neat. Also, I don't know if y'all knew this, but Starcourt Mall is actually in Georgia.
Oh, no, I had no idea.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm tempted to both go or never go.
Right, right. Absolutely. I think it's actually called something else, but that's where it was shot at. Oh my god, yes. Look
so
at her.
Her expression and her hair are like, I don't know, they just really work well together in the skin.
Yeah.
Spot on. Let's listen to the voice pack again.
B and MOBA stands for boots.
Better than 10.
Why are you mad that boots are gone?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh in the middle of that. It was just too good.
That's a good voice line.
It is. So again, those will be part of the Prestige track. And then just to go over some of the other items that you can get, the free track in the Battle Pass will have the Demogorgon Avatar, a Run Global Emote, 11 Announcer Pack, the Mind Flayer title, and tons of other content as well. You can check out the update notes. It's got a ton of things listed out there for you as well. But I do believe now that we've shown off the arena map and we've shown off tons of our Battle Pass content, we can go back and show you guys the final reward for the Poseidon skin for the Court of Midnight event.
Oh,
so we
perfect.
can see that cracking.
Exciting.
Here we are.
Ooh, the tech wave. That's so cool.
That's super awesome.
On the 1 and the 2. Hell yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. It's almost like pixelated 3D or something.
It's weird because the map bleeds through it.
Wait.
Because it's the arena map.
Was that a stingray?
What?
I could have sworn I just saw a stingray in the middle of that, but maybe it was part of the ground. Maybe it was part of the map.
It's definitely possible.
Something to look out for. All right, Kraken.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna go for it,
Part of the
Pon, or are you gonna
MOBA
go for it? I'm
genre.
excited
Boots
for
have
this.
nothing to do
There
with
it
the
is.
MOBA genre, bro. That's really ignorant.
Nice.
You're just saying other games have it, so it has to have it. That makes no sense.
It go.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Oh, that is
Okay.
sick.
That is so awesome.
There's
I love
its
those
face.
badass.
pink accents.
Yeah, the electricity out of the mouth when it juts out too, so great.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
We're getting some pentas with this skin.
Oh yeah.
DRN, thank you for the 6 months. Brother Smith, thank you for the 7 months. Welcome back, guys.
Hey.
Things you wish could happen in your own games, right?
True.
So sick. So that again, we were just going
Skin's
back
cool,
to show
but
you
it's
guys,
nothing crazy. I like the one the
Court
most.
of Midnight final reward. That will
What
be
is this,
available
Riley?
to choose the buy all option from that event that goes live with the mid-season
Subway's
update.
tuna sandwich has
But
no
that is
tuna.
going to cover the content that's part of the mid-season update, the 8.6 mid that comes out next Tuesday. But we're also going to, like I said, the mid-season update is going to be 6 weeks long. So that means that we're going to have 2 mid updates in between mid-season and the next update. So we'll have 2 in the middle, and we'll go over the content for the first mid update right after this message.
Yeah, what else do they have to show? Not having boots means other MOBA players won't take us seriously.
Hello,
That's crazy,
and welcome
dude.
back.
You got a lot of
We have a couple
conclusions
things
coming
to
out
go
of
over
your
with y'all in terms of the
insane
8.7
background in
bonus
MOBAs.
update part 1. Again, 6-week update, going to have 2 bonus updates in between. And we're going to continue talking about the Court of Midnight event. So we just saw the Poseidon. That will be the final unlimited reward that you can get, and we can show you some of the content that you'll be getting with the first bonus update. And we have Shadow Tech Chernobog. Oh, that looks so sick. I love those colors.
You have a whole
It's
mech
like
fucking pack,
orange
dude.
creamsicle or something. Let's check it out in game. Oh my gosh! Wow! He looks so clean.
Like the yellow accents on the wings are just remarkable.
And that pulls through like on his, almost like the gears on his knees.
Yeah.
And his ankles and elbows, like anywhere there's like a joint, he's got some yellow highlights. That's so sick. Let's listen to the voice pack.
We've got the tech, we've got the strategy, we've got the skills. Let's get to work.
Yes,
Sweet.
let's get to work.
Yeah.
I love it. I think those wings look really amazing. I love the black too.
Ooh,
and then we've also got
whoa.
Coral Coast Yamoja. Yes.
Stylish.
Super cool.
So stylish.
I love this skin. Oh my! And look in the background. You've got Poseidon back there.
Geb, Morgan, yeah, very cool. Cucullin.
Dude, she looks incredible. She's ready to
Sunglasses. Oh yes.
Yes, and the pineapples. Like she's ready to chill.
It shows
Have a
those are
good time.
drinks.
And
The
you better
pineapples
not make her
are
mad and
fucking
get in her
drinks.
way during her vacation.
True.
Her vacation on the
get
battlefield.
splashed.
Yes. She looks so good. Let's listen to her voice pack.
The sun is shining on me, honey. The queen has arrived.
Yes, she has.
Oh yeah.
You look amazing.
She's on
I love you,
vacation, but
Yamoja.
she demands attention.
Yes. Love it. So again, that will cover the Court of Midnight event. That will be a new event that
I
goes
wonder what the
live
ability, if they
mid-season
change the
update,
abilities
and
for the
during
skin.
the
It'd be
first
pretty dope.
mid-update of mid-season, we'll get a second wave of content from there. But we've also got the Summertime Chest with Danger Noodle Kukulkan.
What the fuck?
We're bringing in the noodle.
Man, and the longer you look, the more
fucking
references you see. Look at all the Morgans back
Yeah,
there.
I love it. All 3 of them.
Oh my
super
gosh.
smart.
It's so cute. Look at this Kukulkan.
Show me this
As it
thing.
talks
dude.
about-
Cerberus.
Oh,
Oh yeah, that's
fucking
that's it.
God. They did,
That's
why
it.
did they do
So
such a
how do
good
we
job
top
with this?
Oh my gosh, the
Bruh.
animation just swirling around.
Bruh, that's actually one of the
Yes.
best skins in the fucking
I love
game.
it. I
Bro,
love it. I
just
love
looks
it. Danger
good.
Noodle Kukulkan, part of the Summertime Chest. You could also get it for direct
Bro, all I'm
purchase.
gonna
if
say
that's
is,
what you think,
well,
but let's
those
listen
pool
to the voice
noodles
back.
aren't that fucking wiggly, but you know,
Whatever
I'll
you
take
do
it.
this summer, make sure you make a splash.
Bro, first thing Riley thought was what that mouth do.
I
Oh
love
my
it.
gosh.
Yep, it's great.
I can't think of anything more perfect.
That should have been
But with
Jorn.
the Summertime
Fuck no,
Chest,
that's
we'll
a better
also have
Kukulkan skin.
Sandcastle Slasher Daji, and y'all aren't ready for this.
No.
Oh,
Oh, I forgot
we
we're
get
gonna
a
head in
game?
game for this. My bad.
Even better.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
We
This
must.
is amazing.
And he's
Oh my
shooting water
gosh.
out of. You know how people
Oh,
would
look
do
at
that?
that.
They'd
That's
fill the
cool.
noodle and then
Yeah.
they'd spray it. Yeah.
I like the little water ball
my
that drops
gosh.
away.
So many different pool toys.
Huh?
And
I
it
love the
sounds
audio for
watery.
this, yeah.
That's cool.
That is amazing.
I love the like inflatable
Oh.
pool. That's so great.
Wow.
The, like firing sound there was awesome.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
we're gonna do it to him.
Uh-oh.
Goodbye.
Oh, look how happy he is about it. He's proud of
He's
himself.
so happy.
The jump is so good.
Yes.
That's a cool skin. That's a good
I love it.
combo with like
That
poolside.
So yes, Sandcastle Slasher Daji.
There it is. Looking
There it
fine.
is.
So pretty.
Having a
Oh
good
my
time.
gosh.
Yeah, I love that
Having a
pink
good
color.
time.
So good.
It's
I was
like
taking a selfie. Nice.
yes, it's like almost corally pink, but it's yeah. And then
Yeah.
she got the sandcastles in the background.
Riley, you
Ooh,
are
the
actually
flower
down
art.
really
Yeah, the
bad,
flower. You can
bro.
really see it there. I love the flower
yeah.
and the
Oh,
sign.
so pretty. I love these summertime skins.
I love the like ribbons in the tail too. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
The
So she's
fuck,
got
the
the one
Valen's in
tail and
charge
then
of
all of
skins.
the like parts of the sash that she tied are like making up for the rest of her tails.
Yeah.
So creative. And she's got a beautiful flower in her hair, looking festive.
True.
Let's give the voice pack a listen.
The perfect day to play in the sand.
Yes. And I'm sure we can already assume, you know,
Some be real.
that from the card art you could see her ult.
Don't they think people are going to wonder where the fuck that tail is?
Download the
Oh,
wallpapers.
true. Yeah, I was
Yep.
wondering what that was. You're right, absolutely. That makes sense.
Yep. And that
What's
will
up, kid,
cover it for the
YouTube?
summertime
Give
chest.
this
Both
up,
of
brother.
those skins, the Kukulkan and the Daji, will be available in that chest, but direct purchase. Again, more your thing.
That's all I'm
And
saying
then,
is
last
it's
but
a
not
it's a
least,
person
we have a
and that
Jingwei
tail is just
skin.
where.
Look at that. I love this
Nice.
theme. This like shadow.
The shadow spirit theme. It's very cool.
Yes.
I
And
gave
her
Jingwei
wings,
a
oh my
decent skin,
God.
so you can still
They've
be an
got that
asshole if you play
organic
Jingwei.
material holding them together, but then like the almost like butterfly wing material.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Absolutely stunning. Almost looks like stained glass even. It's so pretty.
That's what I was gonna say. Let's see it in game. Maybe we can get a better idea of the texture.
Dude, Valence is Riley's
Oh,
more
sweet.
than
And
down
on the bow,
bad, my
too.
guy.
Oh, it's super cool.
And
Oh,
her
fantastic.
headpiece.
It's
Oh, those
changing
wings
color
are
too, like
fucking
breathing
dope.
almost.
Oh my God,
Like,
yes. I did
the
not
energy
even
on her
notice.
legs as well is like vibrating.
Wow.
So this will be from the Shadows chest. Again, you can always direct purchase if that's your thing. But this is so beautiful between all those blues and purples. Let's listen to the voice pack.
The forest calls, and I answer.
Actually, it's me calling, and I want you to come hang out with me. You're cool. I love her.
I agree.
I love the bow. I love all of the like the highlights. I feel like when we have those really bright, they're almost like hot blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So again, that will be from the Shadows chest.
Yeah, that's a Jingwei skin.
And it's not called Shadows chest. It's called From the Shadows chest. So when I was saying it's from the Shadows chest, I was not stuttering,
gotcha.
although I do that a lot. But that is going to basically wrap up everything. We talked about the 8.6 bonus update. We talked about the mid-season update. We talked about the 8.7 part 1 bonus update.
That
we
is
talked
a
about the
mid-season
Stranger
patch,
Things Battle
boys.
Pass and what to expect with that. If you missed anything, it's all available for you on the notes. If you've got questions, go ahead and
Save this up.
put them out into the world. Do at Smite Game.
All right, Austin.
Or at
Nobody
Titan
needs to know
Cupcake,
that, all right?
or We've got High Res Dandy and Clumsy.
Nobody
if you guys
ever
have
needs to
questions,
know
but
that.
we hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's been really fun hanging out with y'all. We are so excited for mid-season, and PTS will be live on Friday. Stay tuned for all of the details about that on our social channels. But again, thank you so much for joining me, Clumsy, and welcome, Dandy. Thank you so much for joining me as well. Any
Full
parting words
patch
from y'all
notes.
before we head out?
Thank y'all for having me here. I'm super excited to be a part of this, and I hope to see y'all more in the future with this. I'm thrilled. I love being here.
Yeah,
Yay!
absolutely. It's good having you, and welcome everyone to a world with no boots.
Oh, yes. A bootsless battleground.
No shoots,
that's gonna
lots
be
of
it.
items, some wins.
Yeah, a little bit of everything for everyone. But that's going to be it for us here today. If y'all need anything.
All right.